Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Wave the Brush with me, your host, Kris, aka the Name Butcher, aka Hey You Get Off My Lawn, aka Kris, you are being creepy again. Wave the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet, onto the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and everything under the sun. We usually delve into a lot of painting talk, as well as a lot of what's under the sun, meaning no topics are barred. We'll talk about anything and everything. So, first time viewers, be warned, because we can go off on some wild rants, we can talk about some crazy crap. Who knows where this goes, but usually it's all about helping you guys and answering your questions, so feel free to ask in the comments. And if you're attending live, whichever direction the chat might be in for you. And of course, if you're not attending live and you're watching this after the fact, you can submit your questions to Kris@wavethebrush.com. It is in the description below, as well as a link to wavethebrush.com. Central hub of all this silliness has the links to all the social medias, Discord, all that stuff. And of course, t-shirts. Want to get yourself a t-shirt? Look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world. They're wearing a Way the Brush t-shirt. And of course, if you purchase yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt, and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also at wavethebrush.com. And of course, wavethebrush.com also has the link for Patreon support. You want to help the channel, help me continue to do what I do, which is educate, inform, and sometimes be entertaining. Patreon's how it's going to happen. Huge thank you to all my patrons who currently support me. Without your support, none of this would be possible. I'd probably have to go find a regular kind of job. So huge thank you to everybody who currently does support. And there are varying tiers to support at, with various perks as well at various tiers. So check it out, whichever one sounds good to you. Huge thank you for everybody even just taking a look. And if you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, you can help me out tremendously by thumbing up the video, liking, commenting, subscribing, following, sharing the video, commenting, interacting with the video. All that helps as well on both YouTube and Twitch. So a huge thank you just for taking the time to do that and watch this and tune in and listen to me ramble on about stuff and just, all around just being a cool person. And of course, speaking of cool people, big thank you to Carl, aka Guymere Alfer, aka Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out. We always take the time to thank Carl, even though he's no longer with us, to take the time out of his busy time to create the email jingles that play before the email segments of the show. And so always much love to Carl. And of course, speaking of love, much love to my baby brother Evan for creating the intro, outro music that plays at the beginning and end of the show. Always much love to my baby bro, and if you want to check out what he's about, he's got SoundCloud. He's been posting music there. He's been bitten by the creative bug again, I suppose, or maybe he's always been. I don't know. I'm not watching over his shoulder all the time, but he's creating music. He's got a SoundCloud. I think it's Evan Ruins Everything, I think is what it's called. He's got a wicked sense of humor, and of course he also does comics. He sells rare comics, and so EB Comics is his jam. So if you're into comics, which I imagine quite a few of you are, he's got a lot of rarities. I can't remember what there was recently, some horror ones he was selling recently, and it was, I fell out of comics like ages ago, and in fact I'm pretty sure I gave him like my whole Predator series. I had the first edition of Predator, like when the Predator comics came, because I was a big fan of Predator at the time, and I gave him, and I don't know what happened to them. I imagine what any 8-year-old would do with them. But, such is life. Again, love is all about letting go. And I let go, gave it to my baby brother, and my baby brother could do with it whatever he wants. And so, it's none of my business. They were his. Ebb and Flow, sup everybody, sup. Stephen Ladder, sup. Lord Krabby, there he is. Sup Matter Flowers, beat 'em well. Stay a while and listen to the Monkey King himself. Henry Groves, hey Kris, hey. Samuel Sanfratello, hi Kris and all monkeys, hello. Legion, moin moin. Moin moin? What's moin moin? Kris and monkeys, moin moin. That's fun to say, moin moin. It's like loin, but moin, right? Moin moin? Am I saying some sort of, some curse word in some other language? Is that what I'm saying? I don't know. Moin moin. Or is it like morning? Or like moin? I'm lost. You got me. Aaron Seach, howdy, Kris and fellow monkeys. Happy Saturday. It is a happy Saturday. It is a beautiful Saturday today. The sun is shining. The air is, it's moderate. It's not wicked humid. It's been humid around these parts for a bit, and it hasn't been too humid around here, which is a nice change of pace because the last couple of weeks, holy kermolies, it's been wicked. Like, you know, like I just can't stand the humidity. I know I've talked about this many times. It should be a montage for playing every time I complain about humidity. I must be getting old, I guess, right? Because I'm complaining about the humidity. But when it's really humid, there's no escaping the heat, right? You can stand out in the sun and it's wicked hot. You stand in the shade, it's still the same damn temperature. When there's no humidity, you can stand in the sun and it's, oh my God, I'm burning. And then you go in the shade, it's like, you know? That's when you know that there's low humidity. And in the wintertime, it makes it colder than it really is because the dampness penetrates into your clothing and just makes you cold. And you're just, and you can't warm up anywhere you go. And you go inside, you got to pretty much got to take off all your clothes. Just get naked. If you go into the department store, you just drop trow and, you know, you just shop like that. That's really should be a thing. That should be a thing. Just shop naked. If you want to be naked, just shop naked. No, please don't. Sir Peanut Butter, morning, Kris and Peeps, morning. Anthony B, Shotgun Beers, The Barfing Sheep, I made it. Boy, it's been a while. Hello. The Didgery Dude, I just like saying Didgery. Didger. Yeah, Didgery Dude. Good day, everybody. Hope you are all doing well. I hope so, too. Ruben Matinoff, there he is. Hey, Kris and guys and gals. James of Kent. Afternoon, Kris. Afternoon, everybody. Afternoon. Starman Deluxe. Kris was a fan of Predators. Anyways, hey, yeah, not To Catch a Predator, although that was an entertaining show to be in its time. Yeah, Predator, man. Like 1987, that year of 86, 87. Like that was the time that, for whatever reason, my mother was just kind of lax as far as like what kind of movies I could watch, because she wasn't terribly strict as far as like what movies I could watch, although, you know, I would be warned ahead of time that there would be like nudity or swearing or, you know, a lot of violence, stuff like that, but otherwise, yeah. And like 86, 87, what was I, 11, 12? So yeah, those were really kind of formative years for a young mind. And like Aliens came out, Predator, RoboCop, man, all sorts of stuff was out in that time. And yeah, I grew up on 80s action films, like, you know, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Van Damme, like all that stuff was, you know, my jam back in the day. Still kind of is. I was actually watching, I was on Amazon Prime Video, and I was like, is this on here? Because I passed a Van Damme movie, and I said, oh, Van Damme. And I said, I wonder if Bloodsport's on here. And of course, you got to pay like all these different, you know, MGM and Universal and all these other subscription services. You got to pay for these other things. I'm like, oh, screw that. I don't want to watch the movie that bad. I don't even know if I have a copy of Bloodsport, but I've had a hankering to watch some Bloodsport. And I've been talking about Terminator because I've been painting Necrons like Terminators, and I still have not watched the original Terminator yet. I've had a hankering for it, and I'm afraid I'll lose my enthusiasm for the Necrons if I do watch Terminator. And I think what I'll have to do is wait now until I'm done the Necrons and then watch Terminator, because I think I'll lose my enthusiasm. I think that might burst the bubble. Ruben Matinoff, it's a greeting typical in northern Germany, particularly Hamburg and the area. Oh, really? Moin moin? Yeah, that's okay. Moin moin. So if I ever end up in northern Germany, moin moin. I'm not like insulting anybody and, you know, calling them a douche, walking around, hi, morning douche, morning douche. In German, what would that be? If I just said morning douche, what would that be? Any German speakers in here? Feel free to let me know. Like morning douche. Everybody's like, what? Legion, moin is northern German for guten Morgen, good morning. Oh, okay. Huh. Interesting. I mean, I'm not very worldly, so I wouldn't know, but no, it's interesting. Learn something new. Thank you. Dark Commission, hi Kris, Monkey Beings. I like that, Monkey Beings. Anthony B, I'd love to visit Germany. I'd like to check out Germany too. That'd be pretty cool. There's one thing I found really strange I probably mentioned this before in the past, but apparently there's an area in Germany. I don't know if it's northern Germany or South Germany, east, west. I don't know where particularly it was, but in the area, apparently, there is a group, and they're Germans, that hold powwows. And that's a Native American thing. And I thought, oh, okay, because I heard about a powwow in Germany. I was like, oh, is there brothers over there in Germany? Which, this day and age, sure, there totally can be, right? And no, it's German folk, and they're dressed up, and I was like, this is a thing. This is interesting. I don't know if it's a bad thing, if it's a good thing. I don't know. I'd have to go there in person and study it myself to determine whether or not. Because oftentimes you have these hippies who appropriate these other spiritual things, and they think they're doing it a service, but they're actually doing a disservice. So yeah, and I think I've mentioned my stance on hippies before. Coma, hey! I actually made it to the live show. Well, welcome, Coma. In fact, I got your email, Coma, and we got a lot of emails to get through today. So there's a lot of you guys been sending me emails, which is fantastic. Keep them rolling. But yeah, I got a lot today, so we definitely are gonna. I don't think we'll run long, but I'll probably have to cut the goofing off a little short today, just so that we can stay on top of things. So I've had a pretty good track record the last, I think, 2 years. I think the last 2 years I've been pretty good at staying right on top of the emails. Previous years I was like really bad. It would be like weeks behind, weeks and weeks. Anthony B, episode 307, the dampness penetrated my clothing. James Kent, as a pale-skinned, ginger-haired guy with a beard to my belly button, oof, and hair most of the way down my back. Yeah, summer heat. Yeah. Lord Krabby, LOL, click, click. LOL, Predator Warrior extends handblade. You're one ugly mother. Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, like, Predator, man. That's fantastic. And I was super into Predator. In fact, I have drawings of Predator. Because here, hold on. I was trying to help my brother out the other day. I was looking for an old sketch because he was transferring it over to, like, he's doing his guitar and he wanted the design, right? So anyway, let me find my old sketchbook here. I got a bunch of my old sketchbooks over here. Here we go. This one's back from my high school days. And first thing here. Look at, there we go. Predator, right? Where else? I had another one here. I had one where Predator was like blowing up a car or something like that. Hold on. Just hold on. Oh, here's another one. Yeah, kind of a Predator in profile, right? So anyway, yeah. This is high school, man. This is or early high school. This was like grade 9, I believe, when I started this book. And I've torn pages out of here. Why would I have torn pages out? Alien. Here we go. Yeah, here's one. Predator blowing up a car. Obviously not an incomplete piece, but I was gonna have him like punching through the car and grabbing a dude kind of thing, and yeah, Anyway, just some old sketches, But yeah, I used to be all about Predator when I was younger. Brandon Usher, Predator was the first R-rated movie I saw. I was 9. It was epic. Yeah, definitely. Predator is really interesting film because Predator is like 3 movies in one. It's the first chapter is obviously, the guys being badasses and, trying to do this operation, a rescue mission kind of thing. And then the second part is them getting hunted, right? And then the third part is Schwarzenegger against the Predator, It's a very clear-cut kind of movie and how it all progresses. It's a well-constructed movie, and I'm sure as time goes forward that is going to be one of the hallmarks, like one of those movies that is the hallmark of cinema for 20th century. And of course John McTiernan, who's awesome director. John McTiernan, I mean, any movie that has his name, I'm in. So yeah. Anywho. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. I ought to watch some of the Predator movies. I've only seen the original and the Alien vs. Predator films. The Alien vs. Predators I was very disappointed in because I was a fan of the comics. I had the comics as well. And I wanted the comics. I wanted that story from the comics just brought to the film, you know? And they I don't know. Nowadays, if they tried it again, they probably could tell that story better. And, you know, but I don't know. I can go on and on and on. You know, super nerd about this stuff, and you know, but yeah, I was like the last film, not the last Predator film, but the Alien vs. Predator, the Requiem. That one, the characters were just two-dimensional, but all the Predator stuff was really fun. But the characters, you just didn't give a shit about them. You know what I mean? Like it's just like yeah, it's just you didn't really care about them. It's just meh, you know. Whether it's the writing, whether it was the performance, I don't know. But anyway, Ebb and Flow, Kris. I still have Alien vs. Predator issue 0 from 1990 in my collection. Yeah, well, the Dark Horse Presents had the first little bits of Alien vs. Predator because I got the first Alien vs. Predator first issues, and then it was Dark Horse Presents, and it has the parts before that that series started, because it's all about in Dark Horse Presents, it's about the Predators. Basically, like the two leaders are butting heads as far as which one will lead the hunt, kind of thing, and where they're going to go, because it's like, you know, we're going to go to this planet, and we're going to go to this planet, and then they fight. It was fun. I liked it. You know, I was hoping that would be Alien vs. Predator, you know? That's what I was hoping for. Anyway. Ghost Starman Deluxe. Yes, the characters were flat, but you didn't watch Alien vs. Predator for character development, and you watch Alien vs. Predator to see aliens fight predators. Right. Which is why, it's you know, it's kind of just a big CG fest kind of thing, right? So, anywho. Koma. If you were 12 in 87, you're 45 years old, so 5 years older than me. Yeah, thanks, Captain Obvious. I was born in 75. But I'm a December baby, so I was at the end of the year. So 86, I'd have been 11, or turning 11. 87, yeah, I'd have been 12. Turning 12. Anyway. Anthony B, Skynet is real, bro. Look into it. I know, Skynet is real. There's a company called Skynet. Yeah, I know. Finlay Robinson, ahoy, ahoy. Moin moin. That's my new thing now. Moin moin. I'm just going to say moin moin from now on. Unless, of course, it upsets people from southern Germany. I don't know. Talking that gibberish. Do they use the word gibberish in German? Do they use that word? Is there a German equivalent of the word gibberish to speak like nonsense? Like, anyway. Dark Commission. My parents let my bro and I stay up on weekends in the 70s, so watched all the Hammer horror and Vincent Price films and sci-fi monsters, pics, etc. Yeah. I remember those. Late at night, the old black and white films come on TV. Yeah. Old Man Logan, fucking hippies, man. I know. Well, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, damn dirty hippies. Jabba's left nut. While you're there, you can also study the beer and sausage. Like, is that a euphemism? If I just showed up at the airport with my passport, you know. And you're here, and the reason for your visit, Mr. Bello? I'm here for the sausage. I'm here for German sausage. Meanwhile, there's like a gay bar or something called German Sausage. Terracotta. I'd be hungover in Germany right now if it weren't for all the Nurgle blessings. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, man, I'd love to. Like, I went to the UK last year, and that was fantastic. I wish I could have saw more of the UK, and you know. I definitely would love to come back and, you know, check out, like, most of Europe, you know. Like I said, like, Germany is especially, because I'm curious about this whole powwow situation, right? From what I understand as well, there's also a casino that has a Native American theme to it or something like that, and it might be associated with that. I don't know. I can't remember. But, yeah. I was like, wow, this... I wasn't sure if it was, like, flattering or if it was insulting. I wasn't, you know... More information is needed before rendering out some sort of, you know, thought on that. Finlay Robinson, cultural appropriation isn't cool. No, but I mean, we've talked about this one. Cultural appropriation happens all the time. It happens all the time. Sometimes, it's bad. Sometimes it's good. Pizza, right? Spaghetti, noodles, right? When concerning food is one of those things that is culturally appropriated all the time. Even like artistic styles. The direct appropriation of it is bad, but creating work that's inspired by it and is because really what really breaks down cultural appropriation is the context, the intent, right? The intent behind it. Is it to perpetuate stereotype, or is it to educate? If it's to educate, that can't be bad. Education's always good, even if it's a horrible, scary subject and painful. But educating people on it's important. It's important for people to know. Whereas if it perpetuates stereotypes, then that's bad, because stereotypes are just that. They're stereotypes, and they have only a surface level of truth to them. You know what I mean? There is no deeper meaning behind it other than, right? It's like when people wear like the Cherokee war bonnets. You know what I mean? The big headdresses, right, with all the feathers, without knowing what that signifies. And if you truly knew what that signified and the importance and what that symbol meant, you wouldn't wear it out of respect, right? So anyway, Lord Krabby, yeah, make powwows wholesome, but have free people actually run it as managers. It will go smoother. Everyone will be happy. Plus, love Birds of Prey shows. Those birds are ridiculous. Well, powwows are a wholesome event. Powwows are open to everybody. It's not just a Native American thing. The door is open to anybody. Anybody. Of any walk of life, culture, sex, whatever. A powwow is for everyone. That's the entire point of a powwow. Now, back in the day when it was just, us just running around, it was a way for the community to gather and also other communities to come and, and of course there was, some trading, there was, marriages, there was, there was all these, it had a very cultural significance as far as keeping the people together. And that's the whole point, is to bring the people together and everybody mingle, laugh, eat, spend their wampum on each other, and you know what I mean, and fall in love, So, yeah, that's what it's all about. That's all it is. And I realized the first time I went to a Comic-Con that is what a Comic-Con is. A Comic-Con is a powwow for white people. That's what a Comic-Con is. That's basically what any con is. Like Adepticon, yeah, it's kind of the same vein. It's kind of like all these war gamers, but it is a community-specific gathering rather than being open to everybody, right? So, but it's kind of same kind of thing. It's the same kind of vibe. Everybody just comes in and says, hi, you haven't seen each other in a while because you're on different ends of the continent kind of thing. You say, hey, how's it going, Oh, you brought some stuff. Oh, your new wares. Well, let's have a look, Oh, here's my friend. Maybe you guys go to dinner time and have, Anyway. You know what I mean. You know where I'm going with this. It's a good time. That's what the whole point of it is. It's a good time. Lord Krabby, love those drawings. Damn, dude. You can draw? Talent. If you can paint, or if you can draw, you can paint. And you know how like a lot of people are very curious about how to freehand well. Well, freehanding is essentially just drawing. And the capacity to draw can be taught. And it's a skill that you can develop. Anybody can draw. Anybody. If you can imagine it, you can draw it. It's just like sculpting too. I was always very curious about the sculpting aspect, and one of my instructors way back in the days, if you can imagine it and you can draw it, you can sculpt it. And I soon learned that if I could draw it, boom, bang, it happened. So it is all about manifesting your ideas into a physical vessel, as it were. So really, realistically, the first thing is drawing it on paper in 2 dimensions, right? And then it can evolve out from there. Anyway, without getting too silly about it all. Vasily Shimko, hi Kris and Monkey Painters. Hi. Coma, that is so bad. Just sat down and show, and then I got a call that I have to go into work, close up shop. Hope I get back before the emails. Hopefully. He means he got to go into work and he's going to come back, and I won't even get to the emails by that point. Like, yeah, probably. Aaron Seach, we can't forget Total Recall. Nobody reboot. Not the reboot shit. Yeah. No, the original Total Recall, yeah, I like. Again, man, those are all my jam. All those 80s movies, even the terrible ones, yeah, I was into. James of Kent, the problem with the Alien vs. Predator films are that they weren't enough Alien versus Predator. Yeah, exactly, right? Because they always got to shoehorn in the human characters, whereas in the comics, you could tell the story from the Predator's perspective, which is why I like the Dark Horse Presents stories, because it told that beginning part from the Predator's perspectives, which I liked. And if you ever read the Alien, or no, the Predator 2 novelization of the film, that also gives you insight into the Predator. And I actually really enjoyed the novel, and it actually makes me appreciate the film just a little bit more, because it gives you the insight into the Predator's mindset as well. It's really quite interesting. Legion, I haven't heard of an actual powwows in Germany, and a quick Google search did not result in anything useful. Maybe it's some kind of LARPing event or something along those lines. Yeah, it was a while ago. I don't know what happened to it, but I remember it was like a casino or something like that. But then it was also that there was these powwow events. Basically, there's drumming, there's dancing. It was more of a surface representation of a powwow, and it really didn't seem like it was what I was previously describing as what a powwow is. You know what I mean? So again, that's why I gotta, yeah. Legion, gibberish would be, holy cramoly, Kauderwelsch in German. Kauder. I'm sure my pronunciation is 100% off on that, but yeah, interesting. Kauderwelsch. Okay, cool. Well, there is a word for gibberish. Okay, cool. Old Man Logan, Kris, I'm here for Sausage Fest. Yeah, stamp my passport. I'm here for Sausage Fest. Ghost of Starman Deluxe Monkey World Tour. Spread mayhem across the planet. Sounds like fun to me, or sounds like a fun time. Yeah, totally. Right? I mean, like, I don't know how we would fund that. Because that's a lot of plane tickets, a lot of train rides. Unless, of course, I'm just, backpacking it across Europe, which could also be a thing. But, yeah. Brother's still got to eat, though. I'd be relying on a lot of charity. Samuel Sanfratello, big sign outside German gay bay. Get your seniors itches in here? What? Big sign of German airport. Get your Wiener Schnitzer here. I don't get that one. That one's right over my head. New painting mini art J. Hola, Kris. Hola. Barfing sheep. This is a wholesome episode, isn't it? Love it. Is it a wholesome episode? I don't know about that, but as long as it's really just where this conversation goes, man. I mean, new painting mini mustache looking pretty perky this fine Saturday. Hope everything is awesome. Well, thank you. I hope everything is awesome with you as well. The mustache, I was actually toying with putting it like kind of straight up, going kind of full dolly, as it were. But yeah, just going full upwards. There we go. Ariel Sisinski, hi Kris, hi everyone, hello. Finley Robinson, I have an awesome bust of Wes Studi. I should really finish, but I'm having problems with the skin tones. Why would you have problems with the skin tones? Just Just work with darker skin tones. Guillermo GL, greetings from Paraguay. This is the second time I catch on. Cool. Awesome. Well, welcome. Jabba's Left Nut, the only decent reboot film is Aladdin. Up yours, Jabba. You're just doing that to provoke me. I know you are, because you know damn well my stance on the Aladdin reboot film. Okay, I'm gonna come back to the UK, and there's gonna be a list of people getting a bop in the nose. Nathaniel, hey Chris and fellow monkeys, just popped in to wish you a pleasant weekend. See you guys next time. Good vibes. Good vibes. Good vibes. Nathaniel, Chris, your pronunciation of Coder Welsh was spot on. Was it? I don't know. Legion put it up, so I'll take Legion's word. I don't know, Nathaniel, how fluent you are, but... Because, Nathaniel, aren't you in the States? Or are you in Germany? I can't remember. Anyway, doesn't really matter. I mean, like, you could be fluent in German and live, in China. I mean, it really doesn't... these days, it really doesn't make any difference, really. He could even be a Chinese national and be completely fluent in German. I mean, your job might dictate such. Where the hell am I? New painting minis. Better to view it here on Twitch. Is it a better view on Twitch? Is it? I don't know. I mean, I know that there's less latency from what my stream to, like what I say and and how fast you can type a response. I know it's faster on Twitch. And, I really should do more on Twitch. The environment on Twitch is a lot of fun. But so much of my work is on YouTube. And, yeah, so. But that's why I do this simultaneously, right? Oh, man. Ghost of Starman, you've persuaded me, Chris. I'll watch Predator 2 tomorrow. Have you watched the first Predator? Yeah, I think you said you did, right? Predator 2? Yeah, it's not as great as what Predator 1 is. But if Predator 2 had just been just the same, well, it kind of is similar storyline kind of structure, but I mean, it's not, it's not high art really. I mean, like it's Predator. It's more of a monster movie, right? So it's, you got to give it a little leeway as far as, but it's Danny Glover. It's Danny Glover, Bill Paxton. Come on. I mean, so at least there's decent actors in it. But yeah, Predator 2. Yeah, watch Predator 2 and then read the novelization if you can find it. I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it because it gives you the insights into the Predator. I think it actually talks in like the Predator's kind of, or describes the Predator's motives and like like if it was angry or what. Like anyway. Legion. Yeah, it was spot on. Oh, okay, good. All right. I might have to take up some German. Nathaniel, I'm German, but fluent in English, Turkish, French, and Japanese. Cool. Wow. I know, like, there's a lot of Europeans. I know, like, the Danish. Is it the Danish? They're all fluent in, like, 7 languages. Everybody can speak every language in the Union kind of thing. Which, I mean, like, in Canada and the U.S., Canada is supposed to be a bilingual country when only, like, less than 10% of the population speaks French. More of it probably speaks either, Haitian or Spanish. But in the States, it's apparently only an English-only country, but really, realistically, it should be a bilingual country as well, as most of its population speaks Spanish, right? So, yeah. Anywho, new painting minis. It's crispier on Twitch, and as you say, it's less latency. Yeah, I know it's less latency on Twitch, but crispier, really? Maybe the streaming is just better. But I mean, like, YouTube is a big repository of videos as well as doing live streaming versus Twitch, which is not a big repository of videos, and it's all about the stream, right? So, yeah. I guess. James Kent, the tagline for Predator 2, he's in town with a few days to kill. One of the best taglines ever. Oh, jeez, we got a follower here. Change it to the monkey scream. Rancor Prime. Oh, thank you for the follow, Rancor Prime. Demon Monkey Bot tells me it's Rancor Prime. Thank you. Damn, where am I now? Ghost Starman. Or Barfing Sheep. I recommend all Predator movies. It's Predator. Yeah, I mean, it's a monster movie, right? He's going around blowing people's heads off. I mean, you know, it's not Citizen Kane, right? I mean, Ghost Starman Deluxe. Yeah, Predator was my first R18 movie. Dark Commission episode 307. I'm fluent in 2 languages, English and rubbish. Yeah, exactly, right? Samuel Sanfrantello. Does anyone read these days? I would hope so. I assume so. I mean, everybody in this community, right? I mean, well, I wouldn't say everybody, but... Well, I guess because, I mean, like a lot of you... I mean, I imagine some of you are probably like just strictly into the painting of this hobby. And any of you gamers, well, you had to have read the rule book. You had to read your codexes, right? And then, of course, you probably read the background material. And that has no bearing on the game itself other than creating context for your battles. And then, of course, you might move off into the novelizations where you're going to do a lot of reading, either on, you know, a device or on a physical book, right? So, you know, I imagine a lot of us do a lot of reading as the population at large. Hard to say. Heretic Scott, hey dudes, happy Saturday. Hey. New painting. Hey mate, waves. Dark Commission. Oh. Guillermo. I really liked Batman vs. Predator comics, yeah. The original Predator film location was somewhere near Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. Like the actual film location, or where the story is supposed to take place. I don't remember where the hell... I thought it was somewhere like Colombia or something like that. But as far as where it was filmed, was it? Yeah, it was there. Why? Were you there? Do you live near there? Is that what you're telling me? I don't know. Aaron Seach, Bill Paxton, the only actor to be killed by Predator, Alien, and the Terminator. Yeah. He's had three memorable deaths. Ruben Matnoff. Generally, the Nordics aren't fluent in several foreign languages or have a reputation for it, but pretty sure there's much truth to it. The Nordics being Norway, Sweden, Finland? Is that what we're talking about? I don't know. It's Europe, man. Everybody's got all these different vibes going on. I have no idea. Where am I? Lord Krabby. Email? Yeah, we're getting close to that email time. Barfing Sheep. As a Norwegian, my experience is that Danes can only understand Danish, German, and English. I was just throwing a number out there. I didn't know if it was 7 or whatever. I know that a bunch of them... I know a lot of Europeans speak many different languages. Like there's, you know, obviously Germans who speak a lot of English, French, you know what I mean? And there's English who speak, you know, French and Spanish, and you know what I mean? Like, because everybody's in so close proximity to each other. I mean, you know, obviously all of Europe fits, you know, like just a little bit of North America. You could fit all of Europe into a little bit of North America. So North America is a pretty big place. Like a 6-hour drive is a long journey for a European. For North Americans, it's around the block. 6-hour drive, that's like, oh yeah, we'll cover that in no time, you know. And you still won't even be on the other side of the continent. If you were to drive it straight from one end to the continent to the other end, that is, if you drove it straight, if you could drive it straight, that's at least, and following the speed limits, and going the most kind of direct route across, that is at least, 30-some hours, I think, straight? From the very east coast to the very west coast? Yeah, that's like 30-some hours driving straight. So, yeah. Good God. What's up? Don't close my door, man.
I'm getting my shirt.
Oh my God. I'm boiling here. Boil! I'm gonna die. I'd have my son on the camera right now, but he's walking around topless. Now he's putting on a crusty shirt. It's a button-up. Why are you putting it on like a hoodie?
Because one of the buttons were still there.
Well, undo it. What are you doing? Good God, man.
Getting dressed, bro.
Okay, bro. Where am I here? Samuel Sanfrantello. Oh, me too. I'm way older than Kris. Nathaniel, thinking of taking up Anishinaabe. That'll be one heck of a surprise when staying in your area. Definitely, you. It is a growing language that is being spoken again. You won't find it like, say, if you end up in North America and end up way up in the north where it's really cold. You're not going to find people speaking it there. You're not going to find it people on the very east coast. You're not going to find it on... Well, you might find it on the west coast because I know there's a population of Anishinaabe. There's like a pocket of them out in like the Washington, Oregon area, apparently. But anyway, yeah, you might find them there. You're only going to find Anishinaabe around the Great Lakes, from basically all the way through Minnesota, right, all the way up to Manitoba, Ontario, all the way down through New York, Ohio, all the way around. Basically, that whole huge area, yeah, you'll find Anishinaabe. You'll find either Potawatomi, Odawa, or Ojibways. We all speak the same language. Guillermo, the actual film location. Oh, okay, yeah. So that's where's in Mexico? Yeah. New paint mini at Kris. Yeah, it's all about getting a better image. Seeing, why does this always pop up? Piss off. Oh, somebody joined our Discord. Cool. Remind me later. I don't know why that program always kicks in right now. Anyway, where am I? New painting. It's all about getting a better image. Seeing as I'm growing up, 47 years old, my eyesight has been degrading a bit. So I've been doing glasses and magnifiers, but on Monday I'm going to check for dedicated painting lenses. There's a headset. Well, I wear a headset nowadays for the most part. Not when I'm usually painting for myself. Usually when I'm painting for myself, I'm like this, and then I'm looking over my glasses, and because I can do this just fine, as long as I have a light shining here, I'm good to go. As long as there's lots of bright light, I'm good to go. And that's one of the first things, is always having lots of light. You always want to have a nice, strong, bright light. Preferably something that casts more in the white spectrum. Rather than, frosted tungsten bulbs, they cast more of a yellow haze, and that can skew your color swatches. And like when you're mixing colors and then you want to try to color match, it just becomes a bit of a pain. You always want a pure a white light, about around the 5,000 Kelvin range. But yeah, when I'm doing the stream though, if I want to stay at kind of arm's length away, or if I'm painting for the camera, yeah, I just put the lenses on so I can see what I'm doing. Mind you though, my setup, and I was going to actually take a picture of this because it looks a little crazy right now, but like my whole painting area where I do all the tutorials and stuff, like it's like Dr. Octopus over here. Here, you know what? I'll just show you guys really, really fast. Let's go like this, so it looks really completely crazy. And so you can see my painting setup. Like I got lamps all over the place. I got my camera, you know what I mean? I got the lamps. And I also got a big screen over there. Sorry, everybody's going for a ride there. I also have a big screen now. I was actually going to make a post about it that, because I had a spare TV sitter. It's a 30-inch. And I've been without a monitor to check my framing when I'm painting. Because it's very key when you're trying to show people what you're doing. It's always good to know where you are within the camera, right? And now I've got a 32-inch screen right now. It's gigantic on my desk, but it's fantastic and everything works. And I've got it all hooked up, and yeah, I'm good to go again. I'm good to go. Anywho, Ruben Matnoff, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Iceland, Denmark. They only just speak those are the Nordic countries? Okay. And they don't speak any other language other than their own, other than maybe English? I don't know. I've never visited those places. So I'll take your word for it. Until I go for myself and then find out, no, these guys totally bullshitted me. Samuel Sanfrantello, only nerds and geeks read books. Yep, that describes me to a T. Grim, 6 hours would barely get me out of Florida on a good day. Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, just coming out of Florida is a 6-hour drive. Grim, 21 from my area of Florida to Chicago. Yeah, that's a because me like from where I was at the time, which is like where all the Great Lakes meet, is Sault Ste. Marie. Where I was living there at the time, and then we went down to Florida, to Orlando, and we stayed in Jacksonville because we had family in Jacksonville. That was like a 2-day ride. It was a 2-day ride. North America is a big continent, man. It's a big continent. Lord Krabby, like father, like son. Nathaniel, okay, signing off. Have fun, guys. Stay healthy, stay cool, drink water, and eat your veggies. Yeah. Finlay Robinson, 55K light is my preference. Sure. Anything above 5,000. 5,000, 520, or 520. 5,200. Whatever, as long as it's in that range, it just produces a whiter light, which is considered like daylight, right? That's what you want to paint under. And back in the day when everything was still tungsten bulbs, I used to get the daylight bulbs, which were coated with. They were good for like growing plants because they cast actually a UV, and I used to paint under those, and that would cast like a white light, and that's what I used to use all the time. But, I mean, painting under a tungsten bulb, because I used to keep my lights, like, right close to my face, that heat would just, get a suntan just painting. New painting minis. Kris, I have 3 lens hoods. I'm talking in panging dedicated eye lenses. Apparently a new thing for us soon-grown people. Right. Fire Drake 18, hello Kris and monkeys. I found out Discord is a great way to stream movies with friends with the bonus of voice chat. Yes, I know, and we talked about it. I don't think you were around when we were talking about it, because we were talking about it in Discord one time about like just doing just streaming and just kind of watching movies together. We could do it on Discord because Discord right now doesn't have any kind of rules like that. Soon enough, I'm sure Discord will implement those as more and more people kind of do that kind of thing and share information like that. And the movie companies don't want anybody viewing movies, I don't know, for free, or you know what I mean, like whatever, right? I'm sure they'll crack down on it at some point. Roman Matnoff, the contrary, they speak 4 or 5 language. Oh, okay, well, either way. My point being is that a lot of people in Europe, wherever country they're in, speak a lot of languages, whereas on this side, in North America, they barely speak 1 language, let alone 2. A vast majority. Gazip, I've driven from Calgary to Kenora in about 20 hours nonstop. Yeah, which is technically dangerous. Doing that kind of drive, like taking that long to do that drive, or going 20 hours, because like truck drivers, they got to stop after what, like 10 hours, something like that, because 8 hours of driving is a long drive. 8 hours of driving, that's a long drive. Yeah, so going 20 hours nonstop, that gets a little dangerous, because you start bobbing around, and you know what I mean, like the road starts looking funny. And driving through Indiana one time with my father when I was living in Memphis, I was heading down that way, and there's that, I can't remember what the highway is that runs that length, but it's just a long ass straight path, and there's nothing to see, and just a straight road for hours and hours and hours, and you just kind of go boop, and you blink out. It's Disflux, Kris, I'm pretty sure you can watch Amazon Prime Video with people that linked their Prime accounts on Twitch. Interesting, really. I mean, we've talked about it in the past, like watching a movie together and just, kind of, really, it would be more or less just to kind of shit on the movie, I think, really. But, because, I mean, like, if we were watching a movie together and you hadn't seen it before, would you really want me talking your ear off the entire time? Or making dumb jokes? I mean, like, Mr. Miniature, yo. Fire Drake 18, I used to know German. Without practice, you forget. Really? So is language not a muscle memory? Right? Because you know how like riding a bike, never forget. Drawing, right? Never forget. So language, which is probably one of the first skills to develop in our monkey brains. Forgot how to speak. Can we forget it? Can we lose it? Or is it something that just because you don't get used, it atrophies? I don't know. Yeah. Interesting. Where the hell am I? Ruben Matnoff. We are monkeys after all. Shitting is part of our culture. Yeah. Gossip. I just mispronounced every sign we drove by. Driving my buddy nuts. I had plenty of energy. Yeah. Taking a long ass drive like that. Oh man, that's scary. That's scary. Oh, I missed this one. Dark Commission. I can't paint without a magnifier. I have no focusing ability whatsoever. My right eye lens is plastic due to cataract replacement. There is also a distinct difference in color between the eyes. I find I can perceive that as well. I can cover one eye and some stuff kind of takes on a red cast, and I cover the other eye and some stuff takes on a blue cast. Yeah, I've noticed that as well. But my eyes, knock on wood, have not degraded that far. I don't know, maybe I'm just around the corner from you, because I know, Dark, you're a bit older than me, I think. So, yeah. It could be just around the corner from me, too. I don't know. Plus, too, with the whole diabetes thing, like, I got to really make sure, because there's a lot of things that are tied in with with diabetes, and as far as your vision and everything like that, nerves, all that stuff. Diabetes, man, it's a hell of a thing. Samuel Sanfrantello. I used to drive nonstop North Georgia to Brooklyn, New York, twice a month, 24 hours one way. Oof. Oh, you mean you go, like, oof. That's a long ride, man. Yeah. Captain Rel. Watching a movie together and making jokes would be like Mystery Science Theater 3000. I used to love, like, the original stuff. Like, the first stuff. I used to love Mystery Science Theater 3000. Yeah. I think it's on Twitch Prime, too. You can watch it. And I think it's the original shows. James and Kent, 2 hours watching the movie, 17 hours arguing about what movie we will watch. Or is it just like in my household? It'd be just like, yeah, our household's the same. We were going to watch something last weekend. It was like Friday or Saturday night. We were going to watch something. And I usually kind of either rent off YouTube or I'll rent off Xbox. Because the Xbox is kind of our main media system. Because it's always freaking on. And I was going to rent something, and there was nothing to frickin' rent. And I said, okay, well, let's go over to Netflix, have a look at Netflix, see what was new there. Okay. Oh, wait, we remembered an older movie we hadn't seen in a while, or we haven't watched with the kids, and the wife and I are kind of, discussing, what we're going to watch. And then it's like, okay, no, oh, that's not here. Okay, well, let's try Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime. Boop. No, it's not there. Okay, let's go over Disney Plus. Disney Plus. Boo. That's not. Okay. And then after one point, I was like, fuck it, I'm done. I'm not interested. I came down here into my office and I started working on other stuff. I was like, fuck it, I'm done. I'm not wasting an hour of my life trying to figure out what to waste 2 hours of my life on. I'm just going to go get some work done. I'll be back later. You guys can watch whatever the hell you want to watch. Yeah. So, yeah, it is a paid, and so imagine all of us trying to decide what movie to watch. Yeah, it'd be, I'm already stressing out on it, just thinking about it. New Peyton Minis. Facebook open stream. No one can do anything unless you spell it out in the vid description. Right, well, there are ways around it, but they'll crack down on all that stuff soon enough. I mean, they'll restrict it. Yeah. Especially with the algorithms and stuff like that. Like, I'm sure, like even YouTube, putting up some clips of movies and stuff like that. People have to re-edit the film, retime the film, or change the orientation, or change the pixel counts, or stuff like that, just to get around YouTube's algorithm recognizing copyrighted material, right? So they'll refine it and refine it and refine it and refine it, and then what's the point? Room and Matnoff. Next to food, that's another aspect very often appropriated. Language, yeah, language, yeah. But it's again, right? Appropriation, cultural appropriation. When using it in that kind of term, like a term like that, it immediately has a negative connotation to it. but it doesn't have to. And again, it's all about whether, within the context and the intention it is to educate or if it's to perpetuate stereotype, right? And hurt. Stereotypes hurt, education doesn't. Even though education can be painful, can be upsetting, can be disturbing, but it's still necessary, right? Education is far more important. In my opinion, education outweighs any other concerns, even if it's a difficult subject, it's painful, it's horrifying. Because life is often all of those things, and you have to learn, right? I mean, a little baby, you can tell them not to touch the stove all the live long day. Don't touch the stove. But until they, learn that for themselves, not to touch the stove, oh, it's hot. Oh, I'm gonna get a boo-boo, right? So you try, but some people, yeah, you can tell them, and it's, oh, okay, well, it makes sense. And some others like, well, I don't really quite believe it. I'm gonna have to experience it for myself, and you get hurt, and yeah. But anyway. The Heretic Scott, how much sprue can you keep before it becomes unhealthy addiction? How much sprue? If you have all the sprues from all the kits that you've assembled in the last 10 years, dude, why are you hanging on to them? Now, mind you, if you repurpose those sprues, then, you're being resourceful and frugal. But you're definitely being resourceful, because I remember one tutorial from way back in the day. It was a lot of times I would use the sprues early on in wargaming. I used to use the sprues because I saw my cousins doing it, using the sprues to make like the buildings, because they would look like the rebar structures of stuff, right? Or it just look like alien kind of thing. And I would just put a couple of halves together with a floor, and and then put like cardboard as the floor and maybe the roof, and it'd be like like that kind of thing. Like it would look like the structure, like the ironwork of a structure. And, you could use your sprues in that regard. Another one I saw was cutting the sprues up in equal lengths, in short little, like 1 centimeter lengths, and using those for bricks in terrain, or actually building them up like bricks so that, you can use them as bricks. Of course, you sprue, you can also use that as for decoration on a base. I've seen it used, you cut it to shape, plane it off, just cut angles, and it looks like crystal. You just stick those into the base and just shave them down to look like crystal, right? So there's many different ways. Another one I considered was dropping them in a container of acetone and making a styrene slurry as a gap filler. I've talked about that one in the past. Yeah. I mean, but do you need 10 years worth of kit sprues? Probably not. You could probably let some of that stuff go. Unless, of course, you want to reheat it up and repurpose it into something. I don't know. If you had molds, put it in the oven, just bring it to just the melting point and have that stuff sitting in a mold, pour it in, and make a styrene plastic, thing. I don't know. I mean, again, it's entirely up to you. You're only limited by your imagination as far as what you can do with whatever materials. And unfortunately, in the wargaming community, it does feel like a lot of wargamers, communities, groups have lost that edge of resourcefulness for making terrain, conversions, and stuff like that. Even myself, I feel like I've lost that edge as well. Just repurposing garbage into terrain and, bits, making conversions and stuff like that. So I haven't done a conversion in like ages. I mean, a head swap is technically a conversion, but I don't consider head swaps conversions. 1 or 2 elements. It's kind of like copyright law. I don't really consider a conversion until I've changed up at least 25% of the original thing, right? It's kind of like that. At least in my thinking. But I've got crazy thoughts. So, that's my way of thinking. That's how I kind of look at it. Noob Paint Minis. My name, mate, is just Noobs or Rick. Rick Mate. Your name's Rick Mate? Hi, Rick Mate. Oh, man. Fire Trick 18. Put in a movie like Dead Island and just make fun of it. Good times. Yeah. Ghost Starman Deluxe. First languages are very hard to forget since we learn them so early on. It's a lot easier to forget a second language because they are learned later in life. Practice is very important. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I imagine, if you grew up, speaking different languages, I imagine it's probably much harder for that person to lose that skill, right? Versus somebody who's like, in their 50s and, learning a new language, becoming quite fluent in it, but then, 5 years later, never speaking a word of it again, and then, needing it again 10 years later, and, that kind of situation, right? Anyway. James Kent, that's how we choose films. Ended up showing our 15-year-old daughter American History X last Saturday night. Yeah, exactly, right? And I mean, like, that's a fantastic film. In fact, I'm pretty sure at around 15, I showed my son and daughter that film as well. Again, there's movies that just need to be seen, even though they're disturbing and painful, and education can be those things. Unfortunately, we want education to be this sterile type thing, but it's not. And in fact, if we really want people to learn from things, sometimes it's got to be painful, sometimes it's got to be scary, sometimes it needs to hurt. Dark Commission. It's so green and lush where I live in England. My big dream is to spend time in Utah, Nevada, Cali, New Mexico, etc. I love the American deserts. Yeah, but dude, you'll burn right up. You'll just disappear into ash. You'll just disappear like an ant under a magnifying glass. You're gonna need like sunblock 5 million. Because those places get a lot of sun, is what I'm saying. You'll just explode. Just explode. The barfing sheep. I think I need to get rid of some spruce. Yeah, you might need to, dude. But I mean, like, you can use them, right? You can use them. But, if you're just hanging on to them for the sake of hanging on to them, I mean, like, if you're hanging on to the bits, cut the bits free. Put them in a container. Condense. Simplify, man. And, yeah. Lord Krabby, education equals make better life choices, even if it's painful. Well, unfortunately, you can try and make better choices. That's only when you can usually grasp the pros and cons kind of thing, right? When you have the time to grasp those. Sometimes life doesn't give you that opportunity to. Sometimes life just says, make that choice right now. Make that choice right now. Make that choice right now. And unfortunately, sometimes life does that. And, as long as you're pretty consistent with, what you believe and, your bearings, as it were, you'll make choices that are right for you. I hope. Austin O'Neill, noob question. My friend destroys me with Space Marine tanks. How can I deal with tanks? I'm playing as Ultramarines. Okay, hold on. You're both Space Marines and you're playing as Ultramarines and he's destroying your tanks? Or how do you deal with the tanks? Well, Melta. You get up nice and close with Melta, right? Or las cannons. Las cannons. It all depends. It depends really on your playing style. With Ultramarines, though, man, I mean, Space Marines have so many advantages that, I mean, like, when you're fighting, Space Marine on Space Marine fights, it is kind of come down to the game mechanics themselves. Who gets first turn? Who has the first opportunity to start rolling dice and causing damage, right? And that's really what it kind of boils down to. Yeah. And also it's positioning. 40k is a lot of positioning and drawing lines of sight. And, which is why I really enjoyed 40k over Fantasy, which Fantasy was about the maneuvers, but there's always these big lumpy blocks. And, don't get me started on big lumpy blocks, but 40k is much more organic as far as, like, soldiers. It was more like guerrilla tactics, and, guys are hiding behind objects and, taking shots at each other and all that kind of stuff. Right? That's, again, science fiction. I'm more of a sci-fi guy than I am fantasy. I'm more, aliens than Beastmaster, which was also on Amazon Prime. I was going to show my son. That's right. I forgot. I was going to show my son Beastmaster because, that's a classic, man. It's on Amazon Prime. I was going to actually make a post because I saw it. I was like, freaking Beastmaster's on here, man. What the hell? Like, was gonna click it, but then I thought, no, I want my kids to watch that because my son, he's a big fan of Clash of the Titans, the original Clash of the Titans, not the remakes. The remakes were crap and don't make sense. Like even within the mythology, like it just what. Whereas Clash of Titans, I mean, it doesn't make sense either as far as historical context is concerned. But I mean, it was just a much more cohesive story being told. Anywho, yeah, and he really enjoys that, even though with its dated special effects and everything like that. But he prefers that film over the new stuff, which is hilarious because he's a young fella. He's only 23. Had to take a guess at that. So anywho, yeah. So 40K, Space Marines, Ultramarines. Yeah, either get up there with some Melta, right, and make sure. If you're gonna go with like las cannons from a distance, have your guys who offer you re-rolls, give you re-rolls, have those guys nice and close by so that you know because every time you roll like one las cannon, guaranteed that's the time you're gonna roll a 1, right? And unfortunately, sometimes as well when the two forces are evenly matched, it just comes down to the dice, and it's kind of a 50-50. It's flip a coin, who's gonna win? You could even just start the game off like that: grab a coin, flip it. Oh, look at that! You won. Flip it. Oh, I won. You could also do that as well. But yeah, it's all about if he brings a lot of tanks, and you don't have any tanks, yeah, it's kind of a move. But also with the new version of 40K, it's also about objectives. Play the mission. Don't play I kill you, you kill me. Don't play that. Play the missions in the book. You'll find a much better game. I think that's really the big one right there. Is play the missions. And if he's bringing a whole bunch of tanks, that means that he does not have a lot of troops on feet on the ground. So that means you can position yourself within terrain and get them with long range. You can run up close to them by using terrain cover and getting up close to them, right? Or you just win by taking all the objectives and just grab as much cover and get as much protection as possible, and hopefully you can weather the storm against his firepower. But at any rate, do not lose hope, and don't lose what's the word I'm looking for here? Don't get discouraged about playing the game, especially playing against somebody. Especially if this, like, if it's just you and your friend always playing, yeah, tell him to change his list up a bit too. Especially if he's always bringing the same stuff. Unless, of course, those are the only models he has and the only models you have. Then yeah, you're gonna kind of be in that position. But that kind of position allows you really to fine tune your tactics, learn the rules, and discover something new, right? But if he's got a huge army and a huge collection, and he just does that all the time just so that he can kick your ass, well then, just don't play him. Just say, no, I'm not playing. I don't feel like playing today. I'm going to paint my army today. I don't feel like playing. So, you're going to bring all your tanks again? I don't feel like playing. I'm going to paint. Let him know. It's kind of a dick move. Bring a balanced force. But again, play the missions. You'll find that armies that are very super elite, very small, yeah, have a hard time dealing with the objectives and stuff. Play the missions. Play the missions. Play the objectives. Heretic Scott, with mixing it with acetone, once you've mixed it, does the acetone not evaporate and you're left with a solid lump of plastic? Right, we got to seal it off. Like if you do it in like a jar, right? You throw on bits of styrene until it's like gooey. That's all you're looking for is goo. You're not looking for a like throwing everything in until it's like jam packed. You're just adding it, letting it melt, adding it, letting it melt until you get a goopiness. Right, like it's long, stringy, goopy. It's like thin putty. That's about the word I guess you could look for. It's like a thin putty, really thin. So it's still mostly acetone with a high degree of styrene plastic in it as a slurry. That's what you're looking for, right? Yeah. And then seal it off, and take it out when you need it. It's gonna smell like hell, of course. But yeah. Damn, where am I? James McCann, episode 307. Sometimes it's gotta hurt. Sometimes it's gotta hurt. It's gotta hurt. I like it. James, you win today. You win the day. The day is yours, sir. Sir, it is yours. Sometimes, but I'm changing it to it's gotta hurt, because that's more along the lines of how I speak. I speak poor English. I speak crappy English. My English not so good. Sometimes it's gotta hurt, man. And that's true, though. Sometimes it's gotta hurt. I know. Joe K, it's 40 degrees Celsius today in Athens. I'm melting. Oof. Yeah, it's been around 40 around here in these parts too. And I think you're further, like in latitude. I think you're further down than what we are, as far as like, closer to the equator kind of thing. Anywho. Austin O'Neill, except when Utah, Northern California, and Nevada are covered in snow. Yeah. Dark Commission, I watch Wonder Pussy. Wow, I'm projecting there. Wonder Hussy YouTube channel regularly and have to make do. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but okay. I said Wonder Pussy. Fuck. That's the kind of channel I tune in for. New paint mini on the sprue issue. Tamiya extra thin cement and boopin with loads of sprue, and you have the best gap filler. Yes, yeah. We've talked about that one in the past. Tamiya extra thin, which is it's an acetone product. You can use nail polish remover. Anything with acetone in it. You can just chuck styrene plastic because it just dissolves in it, but like you add the styrene to the acetone till you get to a goopy consistency, right? And you don't go past that, and then you seal it off and use it when you need it. Tippity toppers. If I grind up enough sprues and huff it, maybe I'll start tasting colors. You probably will, and I do not recommend you do that. When playing with acetone and stuff like that, yeah, you definitely need to work in a well-ventilated area. Or you'll end up like me. Disflux. Las Canis on Relic Contemptors, Grav Bombs delivered via Drop Pod, or Rhino and Space Marine Eradicators are all great anti-armor choices right now. Yeah, I mean, Space Marines have all sorts of options. Like, it's really, you're limited to what you feel like buying, really, But yeah. I mean, Space Marine on Space Marine, though? I don't know. Fire Trick 18. Just don't go to the Beastmaster sequels. 80s Sword and Sorcery will never get old. Teach your son Krull. Yeah, I love Krull. Even though it's kind of a dry film, but the Slayers. I love that scene when they're coming out of the water in the forest. That whole scene is just, just awesome. Krull was one of those, early films, because that one's 84, I think Krull came out. Yeah. Anywho, Lord Crab, it's been a while. I haven't been on your channel for a while. What you think of the new Necron models? I love them. If you haven't checked out any of my latest videos, I mean, I've got a bunch of tutorials playing with the Necrons. I've been doing a chroming, and I was just getting projects done yesterday, and I have been. This is what I worked on yesterday, and I was doing this. I airbrushed this effect on the blades. But yeah, this is a chrome paint. So this is super, super shiny. Shiny. It's shiny and chrome. I likes it. I have one of those croissants, and I think I'm going to probably, once I get through all these Necrons, I'll probably work on a croissant next. Yeah. Anybody who's not in the vernacular of 40K is like wondering, what the hell is he talking about, a croissant? Like an actual croissant? No. David Mofat, I've been getting my sprue goo on this morning. I keep mine in an old tester's pot. Yeah. Just whatever, glass, and just seal it as long as it's tight, airtight, so the acetone doesn't evaporate. Yeah, it should be fun. James and Kent, my first ever win almost makes up for my Xandri dust drying out. Barfing sheep. Oh, your Xandri dust dried out? Yeah, that's a shame. Mind you, though, if it's not all the way dried out, you can probably add just a hair of medium to it, restore it a bit, or it basically becomes Xandri dust dry. Like, it becomes like the dry paints. If it's still got a bit of malleability to it, I think. The Barfing Sheep, I have a memory of an episode of Way of the Brush where I told Quark I had some Reichland flesh shade for his palette witch flesh, and he left. I'm still a bit sorry for that. Yeah. Tamiya type glues are not acetone, they are MEC, methylated ethanol. Is that what we're talking about? Either way, they have a very similar structure to them. I mean, yeah, like I use lacquer thinner, right? But yeah, I mean, like, where's extra thin? I mean, ingredients. Do we have the ingredients, or do we have to pull up the material data sheet on it? You probably have to pull up the material data on it, right? No, it says right here, contains acetone and butyl acetate. Yeah, this is Tamiya Extra Thin. It says right on the label. Contains acetone. It smells the same, just diluted. There's my buzz. Yeah. Everybody's like, holy fuck, he's cracking up. Oh, shit. David Moffat, do you know what the difference is between 100% pure acetone and nail polish remover and hardware acetone you get in a tin? The difference? Yeah, potency. It's concentration. Yes, I know. But I mean, like, well, what are they using here to break this down? They're using butyl acetate, whatever that is. I don't know where you get that compound. But yeah, I mean, all it is just, it's diluted acetone. Yes, I realize. If you want to use that to break down your sprue, or you use pure acetone, which will be a lot harsher, yes. But all I'm saying is you just add it to the plastic until it comes to that point, right? So, yeah. New paint minis. Oil paint and real thinner. No white spirits. That's the really party paint fest. Well, turpentine. I used to always use turpentine a lot until I switched to mineral spirits. I mean, I picked up odorless thinner because, I don't know, my wife, she loves it when I get into my oil paints because her father's a mechanic, and so it always, I guess she just loves the smell of, the harsh chemical fumes, the acetones and, turpentines and Varsol and all that stuff, right? And, so whenever I get into the oil paints, and I used to use my turpentine all the time. Yeah, she used to like that because, it smells so nice down here. It's like, geez Louise, I'm getting a high. Mind you, though, I mean, she smokes a lot more than I do. Weed. That's what I'm talking about. So, she enjoys her highs. I'm not really one for huffing fumes. Lord Krabby, they really love your stuff. Yeah. Ebb and Flow, Hawk the Slayer? I've never watched Hawk the Slayer, actually. No. David Moffat, someone on the Blackjack Legacy said they wanted to do silver Necrons with a pink glow. I told him I knew a guy. Yeah, exactly, right? You know a guy who's already done it. And show him. And maybe they'll do it different. Maybe they'll do it better. You never know, right? So, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Like, share. I mean, when you see other people out there and they say, hey, you know what? Like, I want to do this. Well, this is a guy over here. He did a tutorial on it. Check it out. It might inspire you to something else. You might want to follow it. Either one, if it helps, as long as it helps. And that's all I'm looking to do is to help. Aaron Seach, all this talk about acetone, and I'm just sitting here huffing MDF. Samuel Sanford, hello. Working on a croissant sounds like a great breakfast treat. Yeah. Disflux. Acetone tastes like it smells. Delicious. Ugh. I had, was it the mineral spirit? I had it mineral spirits going. because I was doing oil paint, and I was showing that in the videos, removing it. When I was working on the Aeronautica, and usually when I have a little glass container that I keep it in, and then whenever I have excess, I usually dump it into my rinse water. Well, I was painting with that water, and it had that mineral spirit mixture going on, and I told people that that if you want to stop licking your brushes, that's the best way to do it. Throw just a tiniest of milliliters of mineral spirits into the water. It won't kill you, I don't think. And I mean, I paint with a big jar, pickle jar. This is my rinse water right here. This thing here is my rinse water, and I usually keep it around here, just so that, because I when I rinse, anybody who's watched any of the videos where I'm painting, I'm a little bit aggressive with the rinsing, but I like to make sure that I get as much pigment out of the bristles as possible when I rinse, right? So I rinse pretty aggressively, and throw a little dash in there, and and if you lick your brush, you immediately can taste the hint of that mineral spirit. And it's like, oh my god, So yeah. If you want to get out of the habit, see, now the thing that here's the thing when I talk about the brush licking, that's just a bad habit. That's all that is. That's a bad habit. Because, for example, in all my years of painting, and especially with oil paints, nowhere at any time have I ever put any of those oil paint brushes in my mouth. And I've worked with a lot of fine liners and done that kind of work with my oil paints, and never have I felt like licking my brush. And I've miniature painted for almost just as long, and again, I do have a tendency to lick my brush sometimes, but I'm very conscious of it when it does happen, and I stop, because it's not a good habit. It's not a good habit, and you don't need to do it to maintain a point on your brush. Using brush soap more often will help you maintain a point on your brush than drawing it through your mouth. So, yeah. Anywho. But yeah, if you really feel like you need to kick the habit of licking your brushes, just put like a drop or two of mineral spirits into your water, give it a good rinse, and then have that in your rinse water. Yeah, every time you taste that, same with the brush soap. The brush soap doesn't taste very good either, and I've done that just shortly after cleaning my brush, and then paint, and then rinse my brush off, and then I can still taste the soap. Ruben Matnoff, that Mickey Mouse on crack laugh. Ha ha ha. Lord Krabby, Corona got to Kris finally. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Old man Logan, bet she would love the smell of napalm in the morning. I love the smell of napalm. Yeah, and she would too. She would. Yeah, the wife, she definitely would love the smell of napalm. Smells like victory. Joe K, I love the smell of cancerous thinners in the morning. Man, what doesn't give us cancer these days? What doesn't? What doesn't give us cancer? Okay? The very fundamentals of our lives, the air we breathe gives us cancer. So right from that very starting point, what doesn't give us cancer? When a function we do 24 hours a day, every second of our lives, we're breathing, we're taking in toxins. What doesn't give us cancer? New painting. My wife, she loves her solvents. Awesome. She does. Not like she's sitting there huffing the fumes or anything like that. I mean, but whenever I'm doing it, she's like, it's nice down here. Dark Commission, a good thinner for oil paints is Winsor Newton Liquid. It thins and also speeds up drying time. Well, I mean, is it a mineral spirit? Odorless mineral spirit? I mean, these companies, they throw their name. It's just like everything out there. It's like water-based acrylic paints. They're all pretty much the same. Everybody just changes up the labels, and everybody goes on about, this one and that one. They're like, fuck off. They're all the same. And it's the same thing with spirits, like for thinning oil paints, enamels, acrylics, like alcohol-based acrylics, like I can't remember the proper name for acrylic paint, but they're all the same. There's only a few different directions these things can go. It's not like they're going to create a whole new compound to break down paint. Although Winsor Newton might, but doubtful. Winsor Newton definitely, because they're such an old company, they're most likely using the most tried and true, and making a new product like something like liquid. I mean, that sounds like something gimmicky, and it's probably the same old shit they've been making for years, for centuries, you know. But oil painting is oil painting. Acrylic painting is painting. Painting is just painting. My God, like, it's not complicated stuff, people. It's not complicated. Sorry, the fumes might be getting to me now, or I might need another blast. I might need another bump. David Wofat, I wasn't criticizing your acetone knowledge, man. I was why it says 100% acetone, but it's not like in a tin, like in the hardware stuff. Are they lying to me? Acetone? No. Like, here. Oh, I got lacquer thinner. This is what I use, and I use this through the airbrush sometimes too. And that's, yeah, you definitely need your respirator for that shit. Yeah. Contains toluene, methyl alcohol, and methyl ethyl ketone, which I think is acetone. Is that not the chemical name for acetone? If swallowed, call poison control. Well, duh. No, I'm going to drink it. It seems like it's got more alcohol to it, though. This stuff smells like this stuff smells like acetone. Like it does not smell like an alcohol. Like mineral spirits, it doesn't smell that bad. It's smelly, but it doesn't smell that bad. Anywho. Dark Commission. For picture painting, that is. Yeah, well, that's... when I use my oil paints, that's all I'm doing. But, yeah, odorless spirits. This is probably the best way to... Oh, Greenleaf Terrain Studio. Oh, my God. What's up, bro? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Greenleaf Terrain. Drink that. No way. No way. Disflux, Kris. Yeah, that's why scale modelers don't point the brushes with their mouth, or point the brushes with their mouths. Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of scale modelers, yeah, and especially when I was doing scale modeling, I mean, like enamel paints and stuff like that, like Custer's paints. Yeah, you don't put that shit in your mouth. Yeah, no, and you know, licking your brush is a habit that needs to go away. It needs to go away. It doesn't need to happen. And don't get me started with painting on yourself either. Because in all my years of oil painting, do I check my consistency by putting oil paint on myself? Painting's painting. It's just, they're all the same. It's like drawing, painting, like, again. Ghost Starman Deluxe. So basically, they're putting chemicals in the water to turn the friggin' frogs into frogs that don't lick their brushes yet. Chemicals in the water making the frogs gay. Go all Alex Jones on this shit. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, shit. Aaron Seach, methyl ethyl ketone, yeah, ketone, is not acetone. It's far stronger, and if you haven't lived till you played with that shit. Well, I use it all the time because I've that's what I've been thinning with as far as the enamel paints. I use that for the enamel paints. The chrome, when I'm cleaning my brush and flushing, yeah, I use that. Just a little bit, just a couple drops. That's all it takes because it just dissolves paint. New paint minis, Kris. Damn kids these days, so spoiled. When I grew up, both parents smoked everywhere. Mom cleaning with bleach, everything. Dad telling us kids to wash our oily hands in pure diesel. When we kids got lice, Dad shaved our heads and washed us with medical petrol, and all petrol was leaded. No catalyst on cars. Nope. It's a freaking wonder I don't glow in the dark, but I live. Yeah, I mean, you're rolling the dice really at that point. I mean, definitely our generation is a little hardier, it seems. You know, we were the generation that grew up with no seatbelts. You know, none of these safety protocols in place. It is kind of, I'm talking about Gen X, because I'm pretty sure I fall within Gen X. I think that's our generation, right? And, yeah. We're a hardier bunch. We remember life before internet, for a lot of technology. Hell, when I was a kid, we had black and white TVs. That was still a common thing. Payphones. Yeah. We've lived through shit you only have to read in a history book. You only read about that shit. We lived it. Yeah, no seatbelts. I can remember plenty of times riding. There used to be like some cars were in the back window. You could get up into that space, like, you know, where the back seats are, and then there's that space there. Yeah, I went out when I was younger. Yeah, crawling up in there and just going for a ride and just staring up in the sky as the road went by. Yeah, no seatbelts. And if you got stopped, that wasn't an issue because your taillight was out. You know, if you would stop for that at all. Dark Commission. Apparently, liquin is an oil-based alkaloid resin, but then that is just more word salad to me. Yeah. Again, I mean, I would assume a company like Winsor Newton would just stay with a tried and true method, because that's what it seems like that's what they build their brand off of, is tradition, because Winsor Newton's been around for centuries, right? For as long as people have been painting, right? So I would assume they just stick with it. Lord Krabby, Alex Jones voice. I want to know why all the Necrons are gray. Yeah. I want to know why all the Necrons are gray. It's a conspiracy. New paint minis. First video game was Pong. Yeah, Pong. Yeah. Man, couldn't tell you how many times I was electrocuted. Played in chemicals. It was just life, man. It was just life. Anywho, Aaron Seach. It collects in your liver. I used to rebuild aircraft piston engines, and we used it to clean engine parts. Lots of fun when you put it on foam coffee cup and let a full one fuse to someone's toolbox. Holy shit. Oh, like the cup, and then put a bit on it and then set it and it just fuses right to it. Jeez Louise. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it's for whatever reason, it's that compound and styrene, right? Because styrene is a plastic, but there's different versions of plastics, and for whatever reason, yeah, when you mix the two, it just becomes liquid and it melts it and dissolves, right? He used to have a lot of fun. I mean, like, yeah, you don't breathe that shit in, though, but, yeah. I should know when I was a kid, man, we were playing with these chemicals all the time. Yeah, so the damage has probably been done. The damage has been done. Definitely. Which is why I'm up here talking craziness to you all. All right, let's do an email. Because we can. If you're wearing headphones, turn them up or down, but here it comes. Email time. Email time. This one is from our good buddy, Henry Grove. Hi, Kris. Henry Grove here. Please find attached my recently painted Mephiston. As I mentioned last week, this was my first proper miniature. I started just a few months ago. Any tips on how to improve it in general for my other models? Specifically, different techniques to try which will advance my skill. Thank you, Henry. No, wait, his name is Henry. Why would he thank Henry? Anywho, here we go. So, let's have a look. So he just started painting. You know what? This is really good for somebody who's, pretty brand new to this hobby. The color is really where it should be. I think it is really brave of you to try doing lightning and highlighting those little muscle groups, and even putting, here, hold on. I've got this new feature. Hold on, people. Watch this shit. Okay? Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. Did I do that right? I probably did that wrong. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I'm doing it wrong. Where did my window go? Where'd it go? There we go. Okay. So. Like, I like that you've got the vials going on. I like the highlighting you've got going on. Now, in the highlights, like in the actual lighting, I can see in the room kind of thing. Let me change colors here. Let me go with white. I think early on, especially when you are just beginning in this hobby, to really concentrate on thinning your colors, bringing your brush to a nice point, because then you'll accomplish this kind of stuff where you're doing this lightning, that kind of stuff. You're just going to be much happier with your results if you can control, your effects in that regards. But I can see like how the color, it's not thick, but it's definitely, I can see there is a thickness to it. I can see the brush strokes, which is not a huge issue, but I think realistically also it's what kind of brushes what kind of point you're getting with your brushes. But I mean, like you're doing some great edge highlighting. I mean, you're off to a fantastic start, and without sounding like I'm blowing smoke up your rear, I mean, you are farther along in just a few months than I was when I started, because I see like edge highlighting here going on, like I look at this kind of stuff here where the shade wash has gathered, and that's something to watch out for in the future. You probably heard me say, stop relying so heavily on shade wash to achieve your effects, just because again you run into these instances where it will pool up in those areas. You may want to look at other brush techniques, glazing, dry brushing, wet blending. Glazing probably might even be like for you, as long as you can maintain a nice sharp point on your bristles, you may want to seriously consider looking at, because when I see something like what we've got going on here on the wing, it's really mostly a control issue. And when we combine that with the vials and what you got going on there, and I really like how you have like these highlights running along your points here, and I think it's really good. I think it's really fantastic stuff, Henry, and definitely keep going. You're doing fantastic. I think really what the biggest one is obviously getting that brush into a nice fine point, and I think you might want to start looking at investing a couple extra bucks into getting a nice sable-haired bristle brush, something that can get you those fine points, and get you to that next point. But I mean, like as far as like where paint is, and like as far as like early control, like you're only going to get better. And I mean, you're only going to get better, which is fantastic. And just keep practicing, just keep swimming, just keep painting. You're going to get better. You're off to a fantastic start. I honestly, I wish I could show you my first models. They're complete crap. They're trash. And it just, But yeah, as far as being just being a couple months into this hobby, that's fantastic painting. And I think realistically, where you're gonna find that you're gonna really improve is getting yourself a nice brush that can come to a nice fine point where you can achieve that lightning like effect, and get more precision control where your highlights like on the wings and in the vials, and you can get some really fine lines going on. But that all comes with learning to properly thin your paints, maintaining control, and of course just building up your thicknesses and stuff like that, right? So yeah. Useless Wizard, there he is. Hey, what's happening? Oh, you followed on Twitch. The little thingy. Did the thingy pop up? I didn't hear a monkey pop up. Usually I get a little alert for a little monkey tells me that you show like a new person is subscribed. Oh, another one subscribed. Rodrigo Piva? Anywho. Thank you all for joining. And Useless Wizard, yeah, I was just watching your channel just the other day. Useless Wizard stream. I don't know if you do on any YouTube stuff, but does Twitch stuff and streams and paints and advises and does all the good stuff. New painting. Oops, penis. Jobs left it. Kris is drawing a knob. Come on, man. I had to get that out of my system right away. Drawing a knob on the screen. Did you guys like that one? That was a good one, right? Anyway. Usually was no YouTube at the moment. Oh, no? Okay. Yeah. Well, YouTube's not for everyone, man. It's a hard game. It's a hard game. Jobs left not. He's still thinking about German Sausage Club where he wants to visit. I wonder, is there's some good names for those kind of clubs in Germany. Bratwurst. Aaron Siege. Did that really just fucking happen? I made it happen. It was a calculated move, man. Everything I do, I've already gone over it 100 times in my head. I've already made it happen. Oh, David, it said the notification came through while I was blasting the music. Oh, did it? Oh, okay. I didn't realize that had occurred. Alrighty, next email is from a young fella. Punisher fan. And it's just pictures. And we were talking last week about the Bandai Marine. I just got to change cameras here. And here is his Bandai Marine. He's repainting it. And he's going for a bit of like a Night Lord. Or no, it was is it Night Lord? No, it was Lost and the Damned. Wasn't it? He's got the red, he's got the bones, and he's sculpting the bones on there. Like there's your bravery check right there. He's sculpting the bone right onto it. Now I don't know if that's supposed to be blood or if he's in the midst of repainting. It might be blood. I don't know. Oh, look at that! He's even sculpted an ammo clip for the pistol. What is the pistol? Is that custom made or is that like cut down? I don't know what that is. Got a bigger knife sheath. Is that what it is? A sheath for the blade. I recently did a Patreon video working with green stuff, getting nice smooth green stuff. For anybody who's struggled with green stuff and has lumpy green stuff results, especially when they're trying to make something nice and smooth and sculpting something. Yeah, I recently just did a Patreon only video. It's a 4K. I do 4K tutorials on my Patreon. Only the patrons get access. And the last one was about getting nice buttery smooth green stuff. Working with it in nice smooth consistency. There was another part to this email. Hold on here. Sorry, my mic is in my way, so that's why you see my head kind of moving around here. Oh, this looks pretty cool. Yeah, it's kind of like this Night Lordy. I don't know what, like, it looks like a Lost in the Damned Night Lordy kind of thing going on here. But he's got like this color transition going from the knees down. And that's really interesting. Like, the overall effect is very interesting. And it's also, again, a bravery check because, I mean, these Marines are not cheap. And to just go for it like this, again, you're a braver soul than I. The rib work is really cool on the ribs. Again, though, I don't know if the red is representing like blood and like underneath, or is it supposed to be just a solid red? Because I see a transition through purple to the blues on the legs. And the head looks like it's kind of got mushed off. Or no, that's the backpack. Oh, that's the backpack. You're a braver soul than I, sir. You are a braver soul than I. And I look forward to results, William. It looks like a lot of fun. And, yeah. Very, very cool. Where the hell am I? Disflux, sculpting bones onto a very limited Bandai Marine. That's a bold move, Cotton. It's a bold strategy, man. It's a bold strategy. Yeah, definitely. New painting at Kris. New kid asks, how's my mini? Really worried and anxious. And Kris just says, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, real awesome. Super mate, you're doing well. Basic yada yada. Thin your paint speech. At the same time, drawing a penis all over it. Yeah, you're that tutor of the year, mate. Crying my eyes out with laughter. Well, thank you. I just had to, I knew if I had that feature, I had to do that at some point, and I figured I might as well just get that out of my system right now, because guaranteed, opportunity lost if I didn't do it, right? James and Kent, Kris, you need a highlight reel of the year. Basically, the email where you did a big schlong over his images. I honestly though, I feel like I kind of skimped on the ball sack. So, yeah. And I do apologize for anybody out there who didn't quite catch that, because I do watch a lot of football. And you see that sometimes on football, on casts, because they draw on the screen all the time. And sometimes, I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, but sometimes they do draw dick and balls on the screen. And me and my son, we laugh all the time, because we're like, you just drew dick and balls. And it's actually kind of become a game now when we watch NFL games that we watch for when they draw dick and balls, just so that we can have a laugh. Because if we can't laugh at our own genitalia, come on, people, what can we laugh at? It's the last bastion of comedy, I think, is laughing at our own genitalia. Maybe not. James and Kid. CNC, welcome on Kris's work on his ball sack. Yeah, feel free to comment on my drawing skills as far as drawing, ball sack, right? David Wofat, I always knew people watch football for the dick and balls. Sometimes, yeah. James and Kent. They came out stranger than intended. Yeah, the ball sack was a little shriveled. Maybe it was a cold day. I don't know. But Aaron Siege, episode 307. I skipped on the ball sack. Yeah. I feel like, the ball sack, we could have went a little bit bigger on that one, I think. Possibly. Could have went a little fuller. Oh, man. This one is from our good buddy Rumen Matanov. Is it appropriate if I roll the R on Rumen? I always feel like I should roll the R. I don't know why. Anyway. Hey, Kris. Finally got around to painting my Demon Prince conversion for true scale warband. Still need to do the base and add some stringy gore, but I'm doing that for the whole warband in one go. So, we'll send separate pictures once I get to it. Am pretty happy with how he turned out. CNC, always welcome. Cheers, Rumen Matanov. Again, I don't know if rolling the R is appropriate. Holy shit, I remember this guy. Yeah. Holy cramoles. Hold on, let's get to a better picture here. Yeah, there we go. I can draw dick and balls on this guy now. Yeah. He's got like this whole what's that? The character with the no mouth, and he's got the eyes like that. It's kind of like a mixture of like some sort of Space Marine Danzig dude. It's Danzig. He's buff as hell. I almost want to see a little bit, just a hint of it, of bluing in the veins, to really bring out the veininess. It's all about the veininess. I know we're gonna go to some strange places today. Oh, he's got a dude on his claw. Oh, that's gross. Oh, poor guy. Not really. Who cares? He probably sold poison milk to kids, and this demon prince gave him his comeuppance. I like the color on the wings. I like that. That looks cool. Yeah, there's going to be lots of drippy gore and stuff like that. Oof. Now, the one thing I would caution on all the drippy gore is stay with the mantra, less is more. Right? So, like, if you get to the drippy gore part of this guy, I think a slight splattering, just a slight splattering of blood, like, on his chest and face, to represent, like, he's just kind of popped that guy's leg off, and then having just a little bit of stringiness from that leg to that to the torso, and maybe a little bit on the base, just a little bit. That's all. That's as far as I would go as far as stringy gore and blood on this guy. Honestly, if I was doing this, but I would like to see some a little bit of all you do is just take a little bit of blue, like just a dot of blue, and with your highlight color or the mid-tone, add it to the skin tone, and just very carefully paint those veins. Or if you're not very comfortable with that, take a very light blue, like ethermatic blue, thin it down 2 parts thinner. I would stay with contrast thinner or Lamian medium, one of the two, but I would use a thinner, and then just very carefully draw over those veins. Very carefully. Try it out like on the bicep, and if you hate it, well then you can always cover back over with your highlight flesh tone, and yeah. But I wouldn't go nuts. I would just do it where you have just the sculpted veins and just a very slight tinge. That's all I would recommend. This guy's cool looking though. He's crazy. I mean, he's probably crazy. Like really, realistically, I mean, like he's missing his arm. His torso's all ripped wide open, and he popped his leg off. Like, is that necessary? I don't know. The head, though, reminds me of something. What is the head reminding me of? It's a character from something. Obviously, don't say 40K because I'll punch you in the nose. But really great. I like it. That's got lots of potential to be really scary as hell. And again, Rumen, I would not push the gore too far. I wouldn't go hog wild on the gore. Yeah. Just like a little bit of stringiness, like just from that where he's holding it up and coming to his hand like that. Yeah, just a little bit there, and then just like a little bit like on the one bicep, kind of like it just splatted, and maybe just like a little bit of splat. Now, if you could do that like with like just flicking the say like blood for the blood god, and just like a slight little flick, and just get like kind of a little bit of splats. That, I think that would be it. Just a little bit, not just full on. He just exploded on him or anything like that. But just like a little bit on his, on his chest and splatting upwards, right? Because he's representing like he's kind of just popping it right off, right? But I think that's cool though. I like that, and the head, the head is messing with me. I don't know what that head is from. It's yeah. Ghost Star Mentalix, yeah. Rumen Matinov, the Horseman Death from Dark Strider series is the inspiration. Oh, okay. James Kent looks like a rejected Gwar character. Yeah, it totally could be a Gwar character. Rumen Matinov, the veining is there, the flash just washes over. Oh, it is there. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, if it's there in person, then maybe back the lighting. It looks like the high points look a little intense, but I wasn't too sure. Again, yeah. Probably back the light off then a bit. The Barfing Sheep. Re-record Danzig. Twist of Cain. Ruben Matinoff, it's just going to be between the leg and the corpse. Yeah, I would just do that. Yeah, just a little stringiness, like just a couple like strings coming, and then coming together, and then going towards the leg. So just like, yeah. Ghost Star looks. Head makes me think of Predator's Mask. Yeah, Aaron. Oh, death from Darksiders. Yeah. That's probably what it is. Pathrip somehow remind me of some cartoon from the 90s. Yeah, it's a very cool conversion. I like it. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. And yeah, keep going, Rimmon. Keep going. But yeah, definitely with the gore though. I know like you're gonna add like a lot of blood and guts and that kind of stuff. And yeah, just less is more. less is more. Especially on a small little surface. And you definitely don't want to disrupt, because if you did do the blue in the veins and stuff like that, the flesh probably looks a little deeper than what it looks like on there. I mean, nothing looks wrong with it, even from the pictures. But yeah, if the flash was washing the blue of the veins out, then yeah. If it's very subtle, awesome. If you went for a subtle effect, awesome. I would like to see a less intense flash on those photos. I don't know how you take your photos, like if you're doing it with a cell phone or if you're doing it with like a DSLR or something like that. Something that if you can control the manual settings, if you want to back the light off and just take a longer exposure, that will get the results. But especially if you have a tripod, but if you only have a cell phone to take the pictures, then yeah, you're kind of at the mercy of it. You're probably better off taking those photos outside in the sunlight and turn the flash off and let the cell phone take the picture for you. If you want to get mostly good pictures. Where am I? Rumen, what do you think about the colors? Got feedback it's too many. Too many? It kind of does feel like... Okay, well, if you wanted to back the colors off a bit... let's go back to the pictures here. Hold on. I gotta find my way around here again. Let's go back to this first image. Too many colors? Well, you have not finished the base. So it is kind of hard to say too many colors going on, because ultimately right now you have flesh tones red and blue with spot colors of green. Right? So the base really should be a neutral color. Grays, kind of like the pants. I would not introduce too many colors into the base. Like you have that bone going on, but that ties in with the flesh. The flesh, along with black, has a very kind of a neutral feeling, especially if you go with kind of a neutral flesh tone. The blue is very intense. No, the blue mostly reads as blue. And this feels like Night Lords immediately. Without knowing the context of this model, it feels like Night Lords, especially with all the lightning. Does it feel like too many colors? No. Again, it's only red, flesh, blue, and red, flesh, and blue. That's 3 colors that I'm predominantly seeing with the spots of green. You could back the green off by introducing a bit more silver. If you feel like the green blades are a little too much, do the cutting edges of the blades with a bit of silver, or even doing the cutting edges of the blades, kind of like samurai swords, how they have that what the frick is that called when they have that marking along the blade, right? You know what I'm talking about. I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank on what that's called on that blade. You can do that. Introduce a bit more silver there. Maybe do the cloths on the forearm and the calves, the bandages. Maybe do those a deeper color, not so brown. The spines or the ligaments of the wings, that could go a little deeper. But again, if your flash is washing a lot of the color out, that also might be it. But I'm only seeing the flesh is really the dominant factor here. The flesh is the dominant, and the blue is second. The blue feels more second to red, just because on the wings the red is a little bit deeper. But yeah, I don't feel like it's too many colors. It's just a lot going on there because there's a lot of detail. And also the tendency is, because also Night Lords, you have that lightning effect running on it, and that tends to add visual detail to the piece as well. And if you have the veins colored in, that can also add a lot of detail, right? And so what it is there's a lot of texture. That might be what it is the eyes looking at all this texture, and you need something kind of cohesive to kind of bring it all together. I probably would do the forearm bandages. If you wanted to keep them brown, I would probably darken them and probably add a gray and highlight them in grays so that you neutralize that intensity of that brown. The flesh could also be treated in a similar fashion. The intensity of flesh could also be pushed more towards, say, necrotic, and pushed towards more blues, giving us more blue and giving us more Night Lord. Right? But otherwise, I don't really feel like it's too many colors. I think what it is because there's so much going on as far as texture is concerned. I think that's really what it is. I think really, I think it is the bandages. The bandages, you could darken them up in brown, but highlighting them, push them to in gray. Add a gray to the highlight and bring it up that way. Right? If we're going to get really super... and the green of the blades. You could also probably add a little bit more silver in and highlight them and knock a bit of that overall green presence out of him. And that might help you out. Hopefully, Ruben, that kind of helps. Hopefully, that kind of gets you moving forward, gets you kind of thinking. Personally, though, I don't feel like it's a lot of colors at play. Again, like I said, it's mostly a flesh. The flesh is primary, the blue is secondary, and the red feels tertiary, right? And it's predominantly those three colors with the spot of green. So, yeah. Rumen, those are with the phone. I do have a DSLR, but haven't gotten to using it for minis yet. Okay, yeah. The phone is fine. I would probably start taking the pictures outside just to get with more consistent light. Of course, that'll be a direct sunlight, so it might be kind of harsh. If you could... again, I've been thinking about doing a video of many ways of doing pictures. Maybe I'm due to do another one. I have done one in the past. Maybe I'm due to revisit it. I don't know if I've done one for the patrons. It might only be a patron video only, so spoiler. Just because of the amount of time it's going to take. And it might be a 4K tutorial. So I might do a 4K tutorial on photography. Yeah, so, yeah. Path Rip. Oh yeah, Casey Jones from Turtles. Casey Jones, that's another one, yeah. But I see the horns though, and that reminds me of something. And yeah, it's probably the Dark Striders. Darksiders. Dark Striders. Samuel, my wife says the head looks like Skeletor from He-Man. A little bit. Not so much. Because Skeletor has that glowy green yellow, and he's got the purple hood. Yeah. Rumen, base it with Ulthran, pretty much, is the rest of the army. Ulthran Grey? Yeah, then you should be fine. Something neutral. Just because there's so much color going on. The flesh, though, yeah, if it does feel overwhelming, yeah, the flesh could come back. But again, I now that you mentioned that the flash was so bright, and it washed a lot of the color out, that in person, under kind of a normal lighting situation, it might not read that intense. I don't know. You might want to just send me another photo with this, so no flash and just under natural lights. But yeah, if you have any questions, Ruben, and in fact, we probably should have a conversation because you support on Patreon, that we can have some one-on-one time to discuss this kind of stuff. So just call it in. Just let me know that you want to do that, and that's what I'm there for, right? The Barfing Sheep marking is called Haman. I've recently started bladesmithing. Haman, yes, that's it. Haman. Sorry, I read it as Haman. Haman, yes, thank you, Haman. Rob Abraham. Hello, Kris. How are you today? I'm doing okay. I'm loving how you're painting the new Necrons. Amazing work. Well, thank you. It's a lot of fun. And, for a lot of people out there, because it seems like there's a lot of people coming forward as far as getting into painting and posting it on social medias and, YouTube's, Twitch, stuff like that. And be passionate about it. And I found that myself recently, that I've been really having a lot of fun with these Necrons. And I find that I don't want to make a video on something because I've already covered it. But then I'm like, but I still want to do it. And so I'm probably going to film it. So we're going to see a bit of redundancy, I think, in upcoming tutorials, because the main key points that I wanted to illustrate, I've already illustrated. But I imagine some people, because I mean, like the next thing I'm working on is the Lord, and he's already chromed up, ready to go. Yeah, I'm gonna do the Lord, and he's all chromed up, ready to go. He's shiny and chrome. I haven't even touched him with a wash yet. I think. No, I haven't touched him with a wash yet. But yeah, he's good. I think I'm going to do something a little different with him too, because he's the Lord. I want to, keep him tied in with the Force, but do him just a little bit differently. So yeah. Room and Matnuff. Yeah, I was thinking of reaching out for that one. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's there. Just let me know date and time that you want to sit down and talk. Yeah, because like I said, because of the level of support on Patreon, you are allocated that time. Brother Eldoran, at the risk of science being painted, of course. At the risk of schlongs? The risk of schlongs? Schlongs being painted, of course. Schlongs? Is that what? Are we making a joke? Is that what we're doing? Is that we're making a? Sorry, Ruben, as I love the model and want to do it justice. Well, definitely, because you've done a really great job converting it, and he's kind of a centerpiece, right? And so you want to spend the extra time. And this when we are doing armies and we want to game and do armies, we do want to spend the extra time, especially on centerpiece character pieces, right? So definitely, yeah. Ghost Star Man Deluxe. GW put up a community article with various people's Indominus paint jobs. Was pretty cool to see. See what? The community article on people's paint job? Oh yeah, like I saw Richard Gray. He does such fantastic painting, and he did like the Scorpec Lord or whatever he is, and that looks fantastic. You see a bunch of them. That did the Necron, in just different ways, right? And yeah, it's pretty cool. Ghost Starman. Also, Kris, you might want to check the stream title. The stream title? Why? What's wrong with the stream title? Sometimes it's gotta hurt. What? What's wrong with it? Sometimes it's gotta hurt. Episode 307. Sometimes it's gotta hurt. Sometimes it's gotta hurt. As I was saying earlier. I don't know, Ghost. You're messing with me, Ghost. You do that a lot. Okay, Ghost, you keep it up. You're back to getting a punch in the nose next time I see you. Or when I see you. Because I'll be back in the UK at some point. I will be back. I will return. Maybe. At some point. But yeah. Also, Kris, you might want to check the stream title. Yeah, I changed the stream title. Useless Wizard. Got a 2 hurt. Doesn't make sense. Got a 2 hurt? Yeah, got it to hurt. It's sometimes it's got it to hurt. It's got it to hurt. All right. I changed it. Because I was saying it for some of my Italian viewers. It's got it to hurt. It's got it to hurt. For some that aren't English speaking out there, it's got it to hurt. What? It's got it to hurt. And screw you, I've got Italian relatives, so I can make that joke. Straight from Italy too. My uncle, straight from Italy. Like straight, like got on the boat, came right here. Well, Toronto. Anyway. Before I get myself into trouble with my Italian viewers, let's do another email. This one is from our good buddy Kris. I don't have an alias. Just Kris. Just Kris. Sister Suggestions. Hi, Kris. I have recently poured 58 hours into a model and very pleased with the result after a long break from the hobby. I still feel there is something missing or preventing it from really standing out, but can't put my finger on it. Wondering if you could suggest something. Thanks, Kris. Have a great day. And so this is the Sister Battle. They feel like something is missing. And of course, we're just looking at the legs there. So, right. Something is missing. Well, I don't like. There are issues with like control. There's a lot of dry brushing, but that's not bad at all. I think I think it's the use of color. I mean, as far as control is concerned, I mean, paint is pretty much where it should be. I don't see like I think probably if anything, I probably would have made the bolt gun casing red. And then something to play off that red. Like you have that little elements of green with the roses in the base. And it'd be kind of fun to see something like that play in there. Also, you have that white element of the hair and the wing. And I think you could have emulated that through the kneecaps, the relics on the knees, as well as the fleur-de-lis on the breast and on the sternum area. And also on the bolt gun casing. I think those could have been white as well. I think the elements on the knees. The gold feels very warm. I think the gold could have pushed more towards the brown side of things. Just so that it doesn't tie in with the same warmth as the red on the loincloth, as well as the bolt gun. And that way the flesh of the face feels more pronounced. Also, yeah, the sleeves. Is there more pictures to this? Or is it just one picture? I think it might have been just one picture here. I don't see... Whoop. Yeah, it's just one picture. So, yeah. I think, yeah, the sleeves. I don't know what color those sleeves are. Because if the sleeves were red, that would all tie in as well. And I don't know if the bolt gun casing would need to come up to be red. You could have left it black. Although, it looks like you mostly just went with metal on the bolt gun. And I think the bolt gun it ties in a lot. The red of the candles... yeah. Again, I think it is really like the work on the face and the flesh, and you painted the eye, and that all looks like you've spent a lot of time there, and that's great. And I think that level of attention should definitely go head to toe, right? I think also an icon in the loincloth would be cool as well. If you freehanded like even just like a line near the hem of the loincloth, or a fleur-de-lis in the loincloth as well would be cool. I like your work on the flames and the candles. I like that. Very contrasty. It feels almost like some areas the paint is a little heavy, and some of the detail feels like it's lost, like on the flowers in the base. It almost feels lost. But this is a fine cast model, is it not? Or is this a plastic model? The barrel, when assembling, I probably would have drilled the barrel out as well. I think it looks good. I just think that you probably, yeah, could have went with, where the hell is my thing here? For drawing. I'm looking at, there we go. Yeah. I think, yeah, the bolt gun casing definitely could have been red. I think like a little line, like along the hem here, and then like a little fleur-de-lis, right? In the bottom here, definitely would bring a little bit of pop. You know what? Here, let's go with red. Oh wait, you know what? Let's clear. Let's go red. Can we color this in? Oh, it'd be cool if I could just paint it. You know, yeah, like a little bit of red in that bolt gun, and then if you picked out that fleur-de-lis that's on the bolt gun in white, right? And then if you did, you know, a white line along the base of the hem here, and then of course added the fleur-de-lis, right? So let's go with a little. I'm just gonna do a quick little. Looks like I'm drawing half a marijuana leaf, but It's kind of hard to do it with this little mouse here, but anyway, I'm making excuses now. And then, of course, on the knees, definitely picking out the skulls, right, in white. I don't think you would have to go in gold. I think doing them in white. And then the fleur-de-lis on the chest, definitely bring it out in white. And even on the breasts, bring out the fleur-de-lis in white. I would probably bring more yellowy gold, or bring the gold down intensity. Definitely. And then also, too, the grenade on her belt. That can also be done in a green. Typically, the grenades get done in green, like a dark green. I wouldn't do it in a bright green like I'm illustrating here, but just that little spot, just to break up all this black, red, and white on the model. But definitely the gold could be pushed back a bit as well, just because of the level of intensity. And I mean, you want to bring more attention towards that face, right? Yeah. Does that help? I don't know if he's even... Are you even here today? Are you here today? I don't even know. But, anywho. Oh, she is plastic. Mr. Pilak is saying it's plastic? Okay. Yeah. So hopefully, was it Kris? Hopefully Kris, that helps. Was it Kris? I think it was Kris, right? Yeah, it's Kris. So hopefully, Kris, that helps. Thank you for the email. And if you want to, send another one in. Yeah, please. Please send it in. Oh, another monkey joined up here. Well, thank you, Lure. And thank you, Ed1234, for joining on or following on Twitch. Awesome. Thank you. Useless Wizard, the fleur-de-lis on the Vulcan could be picked out as well. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Ed1234. Hello, did I paint that? Did I paint that? No. A viewer submitted that. If you want to send emails, send them to Kris@wayofthebrush.com. And you want to show off what you're working on. Anonymous Jeff, the cloth looking shiny is drawing my eye, but might be the photo. Yeah, it might be a bit of a glossiness on the thing. I think that's why, just like a little white line along the bottom, or even putting a little white fleur-de-lis in there. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. New painting, Kris. Yesterday I tried to have a discussion, premise being, on one hand, the monkey see, monkey do approach to painting, as is most common in most cases on most streams by most artists, versus the how and why of the technical insides of art. Me, for one, being the student that when the teacher said 1 + 1 = 2, my first question is why, seeing as I figure if I know why is everything I know that function, and if I know the function, I can apply that function when needed rather than copy people. Wow, that was a lot to read there. That feels more like something you need to construct better into a email and send it to me. Where are we going with that? Yesterday I tried to have that discussion. Premise being that on one hand, yeah, I don't know where are we going with this. I don't know where we're going with this, noob. Where are we going with this? Is that how we say that? I always loved the miniature figure store at the mall growing up. I think it was called Warhammer or something, and the figures were so detailed. Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, many people have many passing recollections, and I mean, like, this whole hobby, Warhammer 40,000 and miniature wargaming and miniature painting, yeah, it's been around for, well, I mean, some equate it to H.G. Wells being the first person to kind of codify this whole kind of experience. So, yeah. But having little toy soldiers, I mean, that's been around for a long time, right? Useless Wizard, noob, I'm saying, oh, yeah, noob. Brother Eldrian, or is there really a fleur there? A fleur there? I don't know what we're talking about here now. I'm getting lost. Jabba's left nut. His pointer is flirting around the saddlebags. Never mind. Ian, When I was young, I went to Warhammer store and they had a bag of what looked like artificial moss. So I asked about it, and the store associate said it was terrain. Yeah, lichen. Yeah, that moss, that was lichen, right? Woodland Scenics. I think they still sell it to this day. And yeah, a lot of modelers, like, you get like the model train people, and you get people who do scale modeling, World War II dioramas, that kind of stuff. They'll use it for, like, the hedges, if they're doing like a tanks and, like the invasion of Normandy kind of thing, they'll use it in those regards. Wargaming, I used to use lichen way back in the day for hedges and bushes around the trees when I was setting up for foresty type of terrain. I used to use lichen all the time because, you just open up the bag, throw it on the table, and boom, you had hedges right then and there. You were done, So, yeah. You're also using like small sticks and branches for the trees, and you just glue the lichen onto that stick, and then you could use like flock, which was granulated cork, and get your little leaf texture onto the. That's what we used to use back in the day. Hell, we used to use scouring pads, open them up a bit, spray them black, glue them, and then put flock on them, and you had hedges as well. I mean, like, there used to be all sorts of ways you used to make terrain, but way back in the day, and lichen, the moss. That was one of them as well. Yeah. Noob, Kris, never mind. Oh, yeah. I don't. Yeah, that was a whole thing said there. I don't know what that was. You might want to write that in a more clear email to me, and just let me know what you're talking about there. Because I don't know. James of Kent, aren't we due a holy moly at the time about now? Holy moly, it's 20 after 2? I haven't gotten through all the emails yet. Damn it, I gotta get through all these emails. Ian, I have always been fascinated with these kinds of figures, and I would like to buy a few someday, although I cannot paint well. There's lots of resources out there for painting. I produce tutorials. There are lots of people out there on YouTube and Twitch who, produce videos, and, of course, this channel. Holy shit, that scared the shit out of me. That was a new follower, or new subscriber on Twitch. Yeah. Wow, that scared the crap out of me. Anywho, a lot of people create videos. I personally, that's pretty much my shtick, is helping people navigate their way through this miniature painting, miniature wargaming, even just painting, busts and large figures and all aspects, just all kind of creative aspects of it. That's really what my shtick is. Shtick? Gig? I don't know. Ghost Star Man Deluxe, just say that the sister would be could use some plastic surgery in the nether regions. ML Badjo. Noob, LOL. Ian, do I need one of those desk-mounted magnifying lenses to do a proper job? Do you need it? Well, no, because like I was saying earlier in the show, I'm in my 40s. I'm turning 45 this year, so I'm getting up there. And I look over my lenses because I probably need bifocals these days. But this is how I paint. I just, I don't have any of my brushes around. Where's my brush? There's my brush. Here's a brush. And yeah, I make sure that I have a light nice and close, and I just work like that, right? And at the distance at which I'm looking at this is probably about where I'm comfortable, looking and painting. And I mean, there is a procedure to a lot of things, a best practices, I guess, not a procedure, best practices. And yeah, there's many videos. I've produced a few. This show, Way of the Brush, I talk on length a lot of times. A lot of times we talk about goofy crap as well. But I mean, if this is the first time tuning in today, I mean, this is episode 307. So I've been doing this for a while. I've been doing this show since 2013. So yeah. But the main purpose of this show has just been helping you. But on my YouTube channel, I have a lot of tutorials as well. And I've also created tutorials. I've been doing this since about 2011 is when I've been creating video tutorials. I have been in this hobby since I was 13, which is 1988. But when I entered this hobby, I was doing scale modeling before that as well. But when I was a kid, man, yeah. But do you need it? No. Will it help you? Yes. James and Kent, gotta run. Have a good weekend. I'll catch you all later. Yeah, I gotta hurry up and finish these emails because I don't want this show to being like a 5-hour show. Jabba's Left Nut, is Noob Painter talking whether we're artists or paint by numbers? I don't know. I mean, this is, yeah, I don't know what this discussion was. I'm not 100% sure what he was saying there. Oh, man. Yeah, who was that anyway, by the way, who became a new subscriber? Because the thingy didn't tell me that right away. Who was that? Oh, that was Noob, subscribing at tier 1. Got you. Huge thank you, Noob. Oh, man. Yeah. Sorry, there's a bunch of them that, yeah, I missed. There was a bunch. I'm bad with, again, with the Twitch side of things, man, I'm a complete noob as far as, like, all this whole environment, this ecosystem. Yeah, I'm a noob at this. And I don't do I do 3 streams a week, because I do game night on Mondays, I do getting projects done on Fridays, and then I do this on Saturdays. Anyway, if you look at the schedule, you'll see the schedule. But yeah, let's get to some more emails here. Ian, yeah, I want to learn more. I'll check out your YouTube as well. Yeah, a lot of my work is done on YouTube and kind of for YouTube. I also have a Patreon where I also have custom videos in there as well, separate stuff, just extra access. And there's certain tiers as well where I will sit down one-on-one with you and help you through things as well, if needing. Just like I was talking with Rumen Matinoff here today, that yeah, we can sit down and we can have some discuss at length time. Barfing Sheep. There is a mammoth library of Kris's tutorials that teach cool and very manageable techniques that one can pull out the toolbox by painting. My painting is a product of those videos, and I'm very comfortable painting. Yeah. Mini Wargaming. I used to work for Mini Wargaming. It's big wargaming channel, and I've been teaching people how to paint miniatures via video tutorials since 2011. Yeah, I started creating videos, and I've been doing this stuff for a long time. I have a lot of experience with many different things, techniques, products, what have you. Fire Drake, I'll be 41 in a few days. Damn kids on my lawn. Barfing Sheep. Oh, yeah, I already read that one. Fire Drake 18. Crap, I've been watching your show for 9 years. Yeah, you've been around for a long time, Fire Drake. I know. I've read that name, Fire Drake, for a long time. And in fact, we got to get to your email, I think. New painting at Kris. If you watch a painter that paints, you're just learning by watching. Then you have technical painters that explain why. Like, why does magenta and burnt umber make a warm black? How it is working like that. Deeper knowledge. Okay, so what are we saying? If you watch a painter that paint, are you saying that I fall in that category, or I don't fall in that category? I'm not sure. What are we stating here? That's what I'm kind of getting. If you watch a painter, yeah. Do I watch a painter that paints, or learning by watching? Well, a lot of people are visual thinkers. So, like, some people you can show them what to do and they can duplicate it. Some people they need to read it and they can follow instructions and then, oh, okay, and that's how I do it. And me personally, I'm a visual thinker. You can show me how to do something just once and I can duplicate it. Reading it, yeah, like a rule book for games and stuff like that. Yeah, I've got to I got to read it like 100 times, and then it's not until I put it into practice visually that I can duplicate something, right? So yeah, I can duplicate something by looking at it, and then so I equate that to being a visual thinker. There's abstract thinkers, there's visual thinkers. Abstract thinkers can read an instruction and duplicate it. Visual thinker, you show them, and they can duplicate it, right? Typically, yeah, I can't remember where I was going with that point. Noob. I'm not stating, just that there are like 2 groups. Who's in what group? Yeah. I don't know. What group do I fall in? Painter that paints or learn? I don't know. It really, it really, I mean, as an instructor, I mean, some people, again, they can be very abstract and explain things, and, you know, somebody could learn. And some people, yeah, they need the visual representation of how to do it. And, yeah. I kind of do both, but I guess really the bulk of my work is really show how to do something that rather than explain. But I can explain it because I've done it so many times that I know what I'm talking about, you know. So yeah. But again, I've been doing this for a long time. 30 years? What am I? 32 years? Yeah. If I'm turning 45 now, 88, I just went about. It's about where I've stamped where I got into wargaming. Scale modeling and stuff like that. I was a bit before that before. I was doing like model cars and I was doing starships and, you know, stuff like that. And of course drawing and stuff like that I've done since I was small. So I've always had a bit of an art background. Anywho. Let's get to our next email. We got to get to the next email. Because, again, this is only supposed to be 120 minutes, and we're already 32 minutes over time. Whoops. Wrong window. Oop, wrong cam. Had the wrong window up. No, that was the previous email. Come on, Kris, get it together. I'm trying to rush here. I'm trying to rush through this. Okay, so this next one is from Stephen Latter. Greetings, Kris and monkeys. I have finished 4 more gang members since last email. I still have the leader to do, and I'm going to leave the last 2 models unbuilt till House of Blades comes out and see how I want to equip them. Till then, here is what I have done so far. CNC welcome. P.S. I liked what you said about using gloss and matte finishes together and tried some ard coat on red heels and liked the result. Keep up the great work, Kris. I always enjoy your content. Well, thank you. So, Stephen, let's have a look at... Ooh, look at this. Oh, excuse me. Let me change the windows here. Yeah. Oh, crap. I still have that other window up. Damn it. Hold on. I got to clear that. It's got the markings from the last example. I like the work on the face. I like the dark lipstick. I like little streaks in the hair. I like that. Yeah. Again, you know, when you're kind of working your way through these things, just concentrate on applying a nice smooth base coat and then, you know, doing a shade wash. When we pick out all the areas on a miniature in the colors that we want and then just do a shade wash, is very effective. You know, and when you want to reach that point where you want to start doing highlights and deeper shadows, you know, you'll get there. You know, don't be in a mad rush to you know, produce something that you see in the magazine or on the box art or, you know, you'll get there in time. Concentrate on mastering, you know, laying that paint down in a nice, clean fashion. I like that. I like the hair. I like that you did the number on the abdomen. I like that. For whatever reason, don't take this as a jab, but this color scheme reminds me of Neapolitan ice cream. The chocolate, the vanilla, and the strawberry. I know, with that little splash. I like that little splash of green in the hair as well. I like that. This is a really fun color scheme. It really does draw the eye centrally through the model. Because you have the brown tones, which are fairly neutral. The blue on the gun kind of is, you know, it ties in with the blue on the feather and the belt. Is it a feather? Yeah, I think it's a feather. You know, slightly, but really the pink magenta tones really dominate through and draw your eye rather centrally through the model. And of course, it immediately draws you in towards the face. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, just stay working clean. Just lay down a nice smooth base coat. If you want to throw the shadows in there, shade wash, you know, do it. And then, you know, eventually, yeah, you get to where you want to do like little edgings and stuff like that. Edge highlights. Edgings. And, you know, yeah. The arm brace looks like contrast paint. Contrast paint's a really fun one. just bear in mind that, when you, as you develop as a painter, using contrast paints and then switching to more opaque colors and going with a more traditional style of painting, there is a slight change in what you do and how you lay down color. Just bear that in mind. But knowing both how to use contrast paints and using opaque paints. Yeah, you threw the gloss on the shoe. I like that. She's got like the bright red shoes there. That's really cool. I didn't notice that in the previous picture. Oh, because, you don't really see her feet in the previous picture. But yeah, I mean, just, paint the model to a point where you're happy with the results and move on. They don't have to be, award-winning miniatures every time, right? Yeah, it looks really great, Steven. Awesome stuff. Thank you for sending that in. And yeah, like I said, you don't have to get caught up in producing, award-winning paint jobs every time, especially if these are gaming pieces. You're just having fun, and enjoy yourself. And again, they're your models. You paint them up however you want, right? Terracotta, I'm a grower, not a shower. Where did we come with that one? Ghost Starman Alex. Mood. Wait, what? Hold on a minute. Do we call abs that mood? Because that's an abbreviation of abdomen? Mood? Abdomen? Mood. Wait, what? What? Ghost, you lost me, dude. Ebb and Flow. Gem in the holograms. Yeah. Gem and holograms. Grim. I tend to dislike yellows, but I like the way the yellows were done on those models. Yeah, the model looked really nice. E and are those made of metal, ceramic, or a different material? They're styrene plastic. Typically, the company that produces those miniatures is called Games Workshop. That produce those miniatures. They're in 28 millimeter scale, often called heroic scale. So those models right there, they're made by Games Workshop for a game called Necromunda, and they're styrene plastic, which is the gray stamped plastic. They look like sprues like this. They come on sprues that look like this kind of stuff. And and this Games Workshop that does a lot of stuff like that. But yes, there are typically three materials that, at least in this hobby, that models are made out of. Styrene plastic, although you can get PVC plastic as well, which is a softer plastic. But anyway, Bandai also does, I think, like kind of a PVC type plastic. Resin. Typically, I can't remember what the proper definition of the resin is, but it's resin being a plastic as well, but it's often two parts mixed together and then poured into a mold and then made, right? And then, of course, pewter. They used to use lead way back in the day, but they don't use lead no more. But pewter is actually a lead derivative, which is just a tin mixture, and they make the models. Most busts and garage kits and small operations, they use resin, so they'll produce it in that fashion. Not a lot of pewter gets made these days. I know Corvus Belli, which produces a game called Infinity, they do it primarily pewter models. Privateer Press do a lot of pewter models. I'm trying to think anybody else really kind of does pewter. Not a lot of small garage operations do pewter. They usually, if they're making molds, they are doing them in resin. A lot of times masters are made in 3D printed, and then they'll do silicone molds or vulcanized rubber to do molds. Vulcanized rubber obviously for pewter, because you got to melt pewter, right? Because it's a metal. Whereas resin, it's two parts, mix it together, and then you pour it into a silicone mold, and you can produce a whole bunch. Styrene plastic kits typically are made from machined aluminum. The process is kind of pricey, but otherwise it's great for producing thousands and thousands of a run. So that's often why it's big manufacturers produce styrene plastic kits, and smaller manufacturers stick with silicone rubber molds and produce their kits in resin. That's just a quick rundown of this hobby anyway. But yeah. Ghost Starman Deluxe. True hobbyists can edge for their whole duration of the show. Oh, man. New painting at Kris. For eyes and bottles, I even got special gloss polyurethane gloss varnish from Vallejo. Excellent for those times you want a glass look. Yeah, definitely. I'm a big fan of gloss finishes. I do a lot of my models, like I do my Eldar armies, like the big planes and tanks and stuff like that, because there's an alien, and I like that kind of racing car kind of look. I do a gloss finish on them so they have that, fire engine race car, Lamborghini kind of look, and because the whole aesthetic of Eldar is that they're these fast aliens, and so they ride these jet bikes that fly around, and so yeah, that's why I do it. It's a visual aesthetic as well, being tactile as well, right? So yeah, go Starman. I only just realized that. Dang. Coma, have you done my email yet? Just got back from work. Just got back. No, I have not done your email yet. I'm blasting through the emails right now. Yeah. Ian, I think I remember seeing the lead ones in the mall in the 90s. LMLA. Yeah. Lead. They stopped using the lead early 90s. They switched to from using lead. But yeah, I know some of my models. I have a couple that are still lead, but then then pewter. But pewter is a lead derivative. Next email is from our good buddy Awesome PC guy. Awesome PC guy. Hey Kris, Samuel Sanfrantello. Oh, that's what your hand. Anyway, after Saturday's live chat, I got to work on the pink with sprinkles, cupcake themed Space Marine. Added a birthday candle and a banner. Not quite finished yet, but hell, it's nearly 4 a.m. here in Florida. Check these photos out. And so let's have a look at the cupcake Space Marine. Here we are. I know Wargamer Girl, you were on the stream with Wargamer Girl, what was that, Wednesday? And yeah, I guess you were talking about these. I guess you had to share them immediately with Wargamer Girl. But yeah, here we are. Of course, you could have just as easily shared these with us over on Discord as well, because we share on Discord all the time. But here it is, pink Marine cupcake. I kind of thought the base was going to be painted like the top of a cupcake. That would have been hilarious. That would have been nice, and you could have duplicated the sprinkle look there. I like the pink Marine. And the cupcake, yeah. Look at the banner. And he's got like a birthday candle on top. That's funny. He's got the sprinkles on his helmet. I probably would have done sprinkles as well on the high points of the backpack, as well as the shoulder pads. I'd have done the sprinkles there as well. Oh, he's got cupcakes on his knees too. I was just about to say, yeah, do it like a cupcake. Typically, when I think of like a cupcake, I think of like a very light brown with the lines, like because they often have that, segmented pattern on the outskirts, the cupcake paper. It looks visually like little lines. And then like a fluffy white or, a soft pink or a soft blue, kind of a fluffy cloud kind of look, right? Yeah. If I was just to visually break down a cupcake. But I definitely would have done the base as well, like he's standing on a cupcake. And I'm sure if you'd have shopped around, you probably could find a toy cupcake to have him stand on and just, basically complete the vibe. But thank you, Samuel. That's awesome. I like it. I like that he went for the cupcake Marine scheme. I mean, really, we could just go hog wild and, do a whole bunch to look like that and, have our cupcake brigade. Our cupcake chapter. This one's from our good buddy Scott Radum. Hey Kris, painted this little dude up. Sculpt is super beefy, He-Man style. Oh, He-Man. I was like, He-Man. No, He-Man style. The arms look a little odd with the massive definition sculpted into the muscles. Anyway, I think it is a step toward on the non-metallic metal. Lots of fun painting a sculpt like this. Big exaggerated features, look goofy as balls, but still fun to paint. I tried flipping some of the highlights and dark spots as you suggested on my Lizardman last week. Hope the non-metallic metal is better, or is getting better. Have a good one, Kris. Now, did you send pictures of the revised? Ooh, yeah, like this. Did you send pictures of the revised Lizardman? I kind of hope you did. Anywho, the non-metallic metal definitely works here, especially on the helmet. I think, again, with the knuckles as well, it really works really well. I think on the metal, on the helmet, I think it could be pushed a little further just to create a little bit more of that separation. Especially, like, it is kind of... It helped definitely to separate that flesh of his face from that trim on his helmet. I like the way you did the flesh. Especially on the right hand side. On the left, or like I guess on visually. Oops, I clicked the wrong thing there. There we go. Sorry. I think on the other arm, let me bring this freaking window up. It's all these separate windows here. Anyway, yeah, on this side here, it feels like a little bit. The flesh is not quite as smooth as what you got going on the left hand side here. But as far as on the helmet, definitely push that contrast. Just so I'm sorry, I'm trying to be a little bit precise here. Just push that highlight that runs on these areas here and here, just to create a bit more separation, because visually that tone of the metal here looks very similar to the face on the flesh, and it doesn't really look that way anywhere else. There's good separation, and whereas here the tones, I think it's like this kind of brass coppery type tone you got going on, and I think the highlights could be pushed a little brighter on the belt as well. Yeah, because that detail kind of gets lost, especially on that piece that moves over his nose. It looks like his nose, and it looks like there's a big pimple on his nose, kind of thing, right? But yeah, I mean, I realize he's a tiny little dude, but yeah, but he looks really good. I like him, and again, I always like the way you paint. I like the way you create those transitions there. Yeah. I think it could have just been gold, no? Like that centerpiece on the helmet, it could have just been painted the same way you did the gold. I'm not sure why it's a different color. Because you got this red and brass or red and gold thing going on. I'm not sure why it's a change in values for that detail on this helmet. I would have just done that as gold. Same with his belt. I'd have done it as gold. Visually, you wanted to break it up. You saw there was a reason to break that up. I'm not sure why, though. But otherwise, really fantastic painting. I really like the transitions you got. I like the little damage you got. It brings a lot of character in. And he's a little Blood Bowl dude, isn't he? He's a Blood Bowl dwarf, Chaos dwarf. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, I don't know why the detail on his helmet, that it was a different color. It's kind of like a copper look, and I'm not sure why. And same with his belt buckle. Why those couldn't have been painted gold, I'm not sure. He made a decision there. I'm not sure why he made that decision. To introduce that weathering? I mean, if you went with brass, you still could have that look of weathering in there, because brass oxidizes to have that kind of greeny tone to it. In fact, you could have went even with a deeper green, right? But thank you, Scott, for sending that in. Awesome stuff. I look forward to more. Definitely send me the revised Lizardman too. If you revise that Lizardman, especially if you're much happier with your end result, yeah, send that in. Ghost Starman Deluxe, I predict we hit 3 hours today. Really, you're making that prediction now, 10 minutes to a 3 hour mark. Ghost Starman, love the Cupcake Marine. I almost said Cuck Marine. Love the Cupcake Marine. Would love to see that guy down the local GW getting pissed off about it. The local GW guy getting pissed off about it. What, Cupcake Marine? Why? What's wrong with a cupcake? There's nothing wrong with a cupcake. Everybody loves cupcakes. Who's got a problem with cupcakes? What kind of fascist hates cupcakes? Really, that's the question, right? What kind of fascist hates cupcakes? You know, I'm concerned about those people. Those are the people I'm concerned about. This is from our good buddy Coma. Hello, Monkey King. Here are a few models I have painted since the last email, and I'm pretty happy with most of them. I have now started to get some of the insane pile of Primaris stuff before they release the new starter sets, and I get more, even more. So here goes. And if you got any tips, really happy for them. Best regards, K-O-Ma. K-O-Ma? I always say Coma, but it's K-O-Ma? K-O-Ma? I don't know. Kim. We'll just say Kim. Because I know the K is for Kim, right? Right? Right. Right off the hop, I really like the transitions going on here. Hold on, let me switch windows here. Can we zoom in a bit? Can we zoom in? Can we zoom in? We can. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, Coma, I really like your painting. I really like your aesthetic. You got a really great grasp on it. And I don't know, like if you're painting for gaming or are you just painting just for shits and gigs. I don't know, but you do a really good job on your models. I like the transitions in here. Where down on the feet is really super solid, and I think I'm not seeing it on the shoulders and the backpack. You see how like your highlighting is very forward? The light source feels like it's in front of the Marine, versus the shoulder pad and the backpacks, it feels like the light sourcing is behind the Marine. Do you know what I mean? I see a couple points there where you might have bumped in the area, but I mean, that big whoop, right? That's just easy to fix up. Yeah. I think in the future, you just be mindful of that light sourcing. But I mean, like, I'm not sure if you're painting these for gaming or you're just painting these up. I know you're always looking to improve, and yeah, I think being mindful of that light sourcing, because you see how the light sourcing on the knee and the feet, you see how it feels like the light is in front of the Marine, versus the shoulder pads and the backpack, the light feels like it's behind the Marine, and the helmet, it feels like it is kind of almost directly above the Marine. Do you see what I mean by that, Kay? It's just something to be mindful. I like how it has almost this non-metallic metal quality, where the bright highlight is running through the dark points. I see on the feet, and I like that. I like that aesthetic. It has a very clean aesthetic. But I like a clean aesthetic. Don't get me wrong. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, the light sourcing almost feels like it's coming from his core. Right? It almost feels like it's coming from his center. His core. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, see how the highlighting is on the knee versus the shoulder pad. The shoulder pad that's not yellow. There should be more that intensity closer to his head. You know what I mean? I can't see your comments right now, but I'm going to assume you're shaking your head in agreement with me. I really like how you did the cloaks here. I really like that. Sorry if I'm quiet. I'm just lost in the pink work. Yeah, it's a very clean aesthetic. I like it. I think in the greens you could push a little darker green in the upper left, like in the 11 o'clock position, looking at this direction of that area, and that would really sell that translucent vibe on the model. I'm sure you've seen me do videos on doing that gemstone effect before. I think you know what I'm talking about there. Really nice. I like from here, this direction, I really like the highlights on the cloth. I like that. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, man, this is fantastic. I like this. Yeah, I like the way you work on the vials. I like that. I like his flesh tone. I think you shared this on Discord a little while ago. And yeah, I really like it. Your work on the vials is really good. I think the vial on the assistant, the one that's on the far left, hold on here. Yeah, I know you know what I'm talking about, but the vial right here, that vial, the horizon line should be like that, like you did on the other marine, right? That this should be that way, because it wouldn't, unless of course he was the center of gravity, right? Like on Fabius, you have it correct here that the horizon line is running like that. On this vial, it actually should tilt a little bit. It should actually be that way a bit more, if that it makes sense. Yeah. Oh, hold on. I gotta zoom in a bit. Yeah, the vial, like the line on that vial, should be more left to right, and that's moving more kind of 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock to the eye. Same with the vial on the assistant. That should run more 3 to 9 than I'm seeing there. It's more 1 to 7 kind of thing. Does that make sense, Coma? The liquid in the vial should always follow the horizon line. That way it really sells. Like, see, that's why it works so well on your backpack, because it's pretty even, right? Like, even I'm looking at his gun, and that should be more, a little bit more 9 to 3. And I'm seeing it. It looks more like it's running 2 to 8 kind of thing. If we're talking about it in the context of a clock face, is why I'm designating it in that kind of view. But yeah, really nice work. The assistant's nice and creepy. I think the blood could be a little darker, so it looks kind of like dried blood. That'd be cool. Just a little bit. Not much. Nice clean edging on the rifle there. Yeah, I like the cloak. Your work with the cloaks is really nice. I like that. Oh, this guy's nice and battle damaged up. That's cool. Yeah, see, you got the highlights here right on his shoulder pad. It's closer towards his head. Like, the light sourcing feels consistent here. The other guys, the first guys we were looking at, the light sourcing felt a little off. Just something to be mindful of. But I mean, like, if you're painting these up for yourself and it's for the tabletop, or, you know, you're not entering these in competitions, you're just doing them for yourself, then, you know, just keep going. But yeah, that's what I see when I first look at them, is that light sourcing, especially when you're bringing a lot of that light sourcing in there. I really like the weathering on this guy. It's really intense. I actually like that the guy inside is not quite as weathered as the machine itself. It creates a visual contrast. And you know, and when you get into kind of a visual storytelling, which, you know, you should consider when painting miniatures, that, you know, you're telling a story, right? Like, he's kind of like a new recruit, or this machine is just really old and the Marine himself is kind of new to the job, and, you know, that kind of storytelling, right? The weathering on the bolts could have been a little bit finer, but otherwise that looks really good. Yeah, I like that. Be careful of, like, when laying the lighter color down, when you're stippling that on. Again, it's kind of that situation. I'm looking at this shoulder pad. It's just kind of a situation of less is more. I know we say that one a lot. Ooh, look at all the aeronautica. I like that. Did a bunch of those videos there recently. I like the Tau. I like the unified look. The Tau. My Tau are not unified at all. My fighters look different from the bombers. Ooh, some Nurgle. I like these guys. Again, I'm sure you've heard me say this one, Kim, many times, to not rely on the shade wash to provide your shadow tones. And I'm just looking at, like, you know, areas on the cloak and stuff like that. Although initially it looked that way, but maybe not. Maybe that is very deliberate. I'm sorry, I can't see your comments, so I can't tell if you're agreeing or disagreeing with me. But yeah, which I welcome all. I mean, if you disagree and you think it looks fantastic, then, you know, carry on. I like the highlighting on this guy's armor here, especially on that leg. I like that. The axe looks really cool. I think you can push it a little bit brighter, almost to white. just to give it more of that electricity and to separate the tone out from the armor, because the armor gets quite bright, and I would push the brightness of that lightning to be just a little bit brighter. But it's really good. It's nice and clean. I like that. Nice and intense. Some Primaris duders. I think you could push the separation of the yellow and the gray. I saw it also in the other Marine. Yeah, see, like on here, it's nicely separated. Whereas on the shoulder pad, you could push that a little bit darker in towards the trim of the shoulder pad. Doing lightning on top of metallics is always a challenge, because the metallic reflects so much light that, you know, you kind of lose some of that intensity. Could be a challenge. If you're going to stick with true metallics when doing like the kind of lightning and stuff like that, like the power, work with a darker metal. It and you might get a better result, or, you know, something that you're a little bit happier with, you know. Quick look at the comments here. Coma, the Marine inside the suit has just got the old suit since the last driver got killed. Yeah, exactly right. I did not bother to change the vial after I painted it. I did see the mistake after I done it. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like, again, the gaming models, I really wouldn't worry about it, right? I mean, you know, yeah. Coma, K is for Kim. Yeah, I know, I know, because I've seen your name there on the Patreon. Because you're a patron, right? So, but yeah, I mean, like, yeah, if they're gaming pieces, you know, not a big thing. But yeah, when you want to start elevating it, and, you know, you want to say, you know, if you're going to bring these pieces and you're going to go enter a tournament and you're going to be judged on your painting, then yeah, that's when you start really wanting to pay attention to these kind of details. Or if you want to start entering in painting competitions, which I mean, if you want to, you know, start pushing your painting, you know, maybe you do want to enter competitions, or maybe you do. I can't remember if you do already, but you know, feel free to enter competitions. Personally, myself, I don't these days. Really, I don't really worry about it. It's not a motivator for me to push my painting to be better, and even to this day, I do push myself to become a better painter, not for competition, but really it's for you guys. Really is why I'm always looking to improve my painting. It's so that you guys can say, hey, Kris, how did you do this? Hey, that looks really great. What did you do there? And, you know, and that's where I'm always looking to improve, and how I do things. And of course, because I'm often instructing you guys to better practices, you know, I'm looking to be more efficient in how I paint a model. And I'm always looking to be more efficient, because, you know, I like finding a blend between, you know, competition type level painting and gaming, right? Getting it done quickly and, you know, looking fantastic, right? Because there's always a sort of a middle ground in those regards, right? So, yeah. Ian, these tiny intricacies about light sources, liquid flowing the horizon, and metallic colors is fascinating to me. Oh, definitely. Man, we can totally get nitpicky about details of painting. Definitely. And I mean, when we are looking at, you know, elevating our painting abilities and what we're looking at, yeah, and that's where, you know, the miniature art kind of starts to kick in, and then we start looking at it as an art form, is when we're really getting nitpicky and really looking at the quality of how we're laying it on the surface, what colors we're using, how the color interplays with each other, also the character. You know, we're looking at it like a small diorama, like one little miniature is a diorama unto himself, as opposed to like a big diorama where we have multiple models interacting and telling a story. They all tie together. Composition, color composition within the model, that we can get really, really pedantic about it all. But yeah, and of course we can also just slap some color on a model, you know, put a shade wash, you know, pick out some details, throw little transfers on, and throw it onto the tabletop, and, you know, play with it, you know, like a little toy soldier. We can also do that as well. We can treat it like it's, you know, like it's Michelangelo's David, or we could treat it like it's a little toy soldier. And we can play within that world, and there's lots of gray area to play. And that's why this community really is very diverse. I mean, I myself am one of the spectrums within this hobby. And there's many painters out there who are, this is an art form. And there's some where this is just toy soldiers, relax. And there's, and there's many of us in there. And so as you delve into this hobby, into this, this whatever it is, you're going to see many opinions, and they're all going to be different. And even how we paint and, things of that, everybody's going to differ. So it's fun. It's a fun hobby. It's a fun hobby to get into. There's so much to take into account when painting these I was not aware of. Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. There's a lot. Coma. Not at the level I feel I have anything to do in a painting competition. Oh, no. You're wrong. Kim, you're wrong. You could totally enter your painting into a competition. Your creating transitions is up there. Your ability to create a transition on that surface, yes. I think where you are, again, just need to build is your control and creating finer and finer lines and things of that nature. But, no, your work right now, you could totally enter competition. Are you going to place? It all depends on what you're up against. And that's day of kind of idea right there. What your odds are there, right? But no, your painting is definitely above average of what average being, not average being a bad thing, just of what I've seen, and and also how long you've been painting, and yeah. But no, you could totally enter a competition and place. What you're up against, is entirely, and of course also, how much time you're willing to put into a piece like that, what you're currently doing, and to push it to the next level for that kind of competition stuff. Yeah, you'd have to spend a bit more time, but I think you realize that already, right? That you can just slap paint on the surface, give it a shade wash, base it, and be done with it, right? You know that, and you're happy with your results, I'm sure, doing something similar to that, but pushing a character piece and, going further, and yeah. So, yeah. No, your painting is really good, Kim. It's really good. Don't be afraid to enter in a competition. But, if that's not your goal, then don't worry about it, man. Who cares? Like, myself, personally, like I said, I'm not motivated by competition. It's not my motivation. To be completely honest, and not to sound corny, but you guys are my motivation. You guys are my motivation to continue to excel at painting. It's just so that I have something to offer you guys as we all grow and develop, right? Yeah, it's really it. It's my only reason for staying in good shape, as it were, right? It's only my only motivator. Noobs painting. Sorry, don't panic, I meant. What? Oh, you were talking to those guys about that. Okay, sorry, yeah. David Mofat, I'm all about slapping paint on the best of my ability. Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? Like, it's what our goals, yeah, like what Kim's saying is like, what are our goals? Some of us just want to paint so we have pretty little miniatures on the table when we're playing our games. And that's all we're looking for. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So if, that's all you want to do. You just want to have fun. And this is a hobby, right? For me, it's a job, but for you guys, for a vast majority of you out there, it's just a hobby. Don't have to take it too seriously. You can take it seriously, but not too seriously. As long as you don't take yourself seriously. That's a big one. Ian, can you wash all the paint away and start from scratch if you mess up? Yes. Or does the paint become one with the plastic? Depends on the paint, but I have not really heard of paint becoming one with the plastic. I mean, stain the plastic, sure. There are some paints out there, if you didn't have a barrier between them, they would stain the plastic. But, no. Yeah. You could totally, we call it stripping the model. You could strip the model. And there are many products out there that we use for stripping. The easiest, most common, that almost everybody has access to, although, some places where you pick it up, but is isopropyl alcohol. Typically a 90%. I use 99%. That'll strip plastic and is gentle enough not to melt the plastic, because some strippers, like acetone products, they'll melt styrene plastic, which is that gray plastic. It'll melt it. It'll just blah, and it'll just be goo. Yeah. So you don't want to do that. Like nail polish remover has acetone in it. Don't ever use that on a plastic model. Some resins you can, even though resins are plastic, but I can't remember what the proper name for it. It's like a urethane, but it sounds like urethane. I can't remember what the hell it's called. There's like a few of them. There's like a PVC plastic, which is propyl something like that. Oh frick, I can't remember what the hell these names are. Anyway, and then of course pewter. Pewter you could use acetone on because it's metal, and it won't melt under acetone or an acetone product. But yeah. But alcohol, isoalcohol, is gentle enough, and it pulls, because the paint we typically use on these models is water-based acrylic paint. That's the kind of paint we typically use. A vast majority, like I would 90%, without having any of the numbers, I would guess would be like 90%. Just say 90%. A vast majority of us who paint these miniatures, we're using water-based acrylic paint, which is non-toxic, typically. Most companies that produce these models, they sell paints to go along with these models. And they're all typically water-based acrylic paints. You could go to any art supply place and just find water-based acrylic paints and apply them onto the model. You don't have to spend huge amounts of money. Now, some paints that are designed, intended for miniatures, their formulas are intended for this kind of art form, so they flow a bit better on the surfaces, but you pretty much can use whatever. You could also use enamel-based or even not just regular acrylic paints, which are not water-based acrylic paints. You could use those on these surfaces, but if you don't know how to use those paints and like thinning them and things like that nature, then you may struggle. Whereas water-based acrylic paints are fairly easy to use because we rinse our brushes off with water, and we can use a bit of water to thin the color down just a bit, and applies. And so yeah, that's why typically we use water-based acrylic paints, but we can use enamels and other alcohol-based acrylic paints, stuff like that. But there is a lot, and if you're just getting into this, yeah, you're just scratching the surface. But don't worry, there's many sources out there that help explain this, myself included, that can help you and answer your questions. Aaron Seach, never sell yourself short. Doesn't matter your level, there is always going to be nitpickers, but there is always going to be that new painter who sees your work and is inspired. Definitely, yeah. And Kim, yeah, I mean, your work is really good. I like your work. Your painting is really good. I don't know how long, Kim. I'm sure you've told me how long you've been painting, but yeah, it's really good. I'll just say it's really good. Fire Drake, my goal is to reach average. Sure. And I mean, we can say that in a self-deprecating kind of way. My painting is crap, and I'm no master. But I mean, really the goal should be to paint to a point where you're happy with it. You're happy with it because it's your model. You bought it. You spent the money. You're taking the time to paint it. You are the one who ultimately, are you happy with it? And if you go, yeah, I'm happy with it, I could stop there, then, But having this idea of it's got to be perfect. It's got to be just like this. You know, you got to. I mean, if you understand what you can pull off and what you with your abilities, then sure. But nothing wrong with wanting to be and being inspired by, and wanting to paint like so and so. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But be realistic. Today, I paint like this, right? It's just like it's like working out. Lifting 100 pounds today and doing a bunch of curls. Oh, my biceps aren't big yet. Well, do that for a year. Do that for 2 years, 3 years. Increase the weight. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, your arms are huge, right? But know that you're not going to be, tomorrow, you're not going to be there. But a year from now, you're going to be closer to it, right? That's the idea. And painting is the same way. The more you do it, the more you practice, the better you're going to get at it. Rumen Matanov. Something I read a couple weeks back. You don't have to be good at your hobby. No, you don't, and that's exactly right. Right? That's exactly it. You don't have to be good at your hobby. To enjoy it. You don't have to be good at it to enjoy it. You just have to enjoy it. You just have to be, when you have free time, you're like, yeah, I'm looking forward to this time, and sitting down and being happy, and that's all we really want, right? And if this hobby is not doing that for you, then you kind of have to self-reflect and look at it and go, well, what am I doing in this hobby? Why am I doing this hobby, right? If it doesn't make you happy, then you gotta look at it. Noob. Oh, you're talking to Lehman Russ. I'm not in the hobby, but I enjoy you talking about and respect your work. Well, thank you, Lehman. Thank you. Rumen, loved it. Ian, okay, I see. Yeah. It's just, you get what you put in, is really another way of looking at it, right? Dark Commission, when I do a good job on a bust or figure, I honestly can hardly believe that it was me who painted it. And you're just happy, and that's it. It's all we want out of anything really in this life, right? Is just to be happy. If it doesn't make you happy, then don't do it. Don't do it. Ian, I want to order maybe half a dozen or so pieces to begin with. I like creatures and monster themed stuff. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is you don't have to look at companies that produce for the games. There's plenty of sculptors out there who produce one-off pieces, who sell them, and they're making all sorts of crazy stuff. One artist I follow on Instagram and stuff, George. I can't say his last name because it's Greek. I bought this Cthulhu bust off him. A fantastic sculptor. Here, let me pull this. I have pictures on my Instagram of stuff, but I follow this guy's work for a long time. And he did this Cthulhu bust, and I always wanted this piece, and I finally got around to buying it, and I just did a really fast paint job on it. I did not spend stupid amounts of time on this. I just love the sculpt. This piece, it's a statue, and I love it. And it's just resin, and of course he was kind enough to sign the bottom for me too. But I love this guy's work. And he still produces tons of work. There's another bust I want to get. It's this a satyr I want to get. It's a bust. I don't know how big it is. It looks like it's pretty big, but I can't tell. But yeah, this Cthulhu is great, and he does a bunch of these Cthulhu pieces, and he does all sorts of fantastic pieces. But this guy's awesome. And I did a super fast paint job. I think I did this in an afternoon. I did this, and all I did was I used some color shift paints and airbrushed the majority of it, and then give it this wash and give it this patina, and looking at it on camera, it is not, sorry, I didn't have the right angle, but anyway, looking at it on camera does not convey all the colors at play. It's a color shifting paint. It's this green and turquoise and shifts to purple, and I also have this red in here that shifts to golds, and but this piece is a lot of fun. I like this piece. And this artist, he's a fantastic sculptor. But he doesn't sculpt wargaming stuff. He just sculpts. and he sculpts little monsters and stuff like that. So check him out, George. His last name's that's his last name right there. Look him up. He sculpted this like back in 17, I think, and I just picked this up a year ago, 2 years ago. He signed it 2019, so it was last year. I think I bought this last year, and I finally got around to painting this. I have posts on when I picked this up, when it came in the mail, but yeah. But anyway, that's his last name right there. I can't say it because I'll just end up butchering his name butcher, right? And yeah, but that's the artist, George. I'm not even gonna try. I'll end up just insulting the man. But he's a fantastic artist, and you know he creates all sorts of busts and things, and his work is really great. And yeah, if you buy anything from him, he has an online store. Just type in his name, you'll find his site, and you'll find his sculpts. Yeah, and say, hey, yeah, Kris, Way the Brush sent me, and yeah, I like your work, and I'm gonna buy some. You know, and feel free to buy some. It's all produced by him. It's not mass-produced stuff. New painting minis at Kris. Agree 100%. Set one self's goals and learn how to be happy with the wins that you get there. And a failure, it's one's best friend. Only when we fail, we learn how to search for a way to win again. And it's a win-win deal if you remove the concept of ego and comparison. Yeah, you're throwing in a bunch of concepts into that short little statement. But yeah, that is another one that I talk about a lot, is don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. And embrace your fail. And, know that you will fail. But as long as you learn from your failures, right? Yeah. Aaron Seach, I would advise check out Creature Caster if you love Monsters Demon. Yeah, Creature Caster is another fantastic company. Although they produce their models kind of in the mind of going along with, game systems, right? Age of Sigmar 40K. Although their recent stuff is not really in tune with anything. It's kind of their own thing they're doing. So it's, But I mean, like Creature Caster, I've been a fan of Creature Caster for a long time. There's a lot of companies that are small, like Merce Miniatures, that they produce some fantastic models. And I mean, like I wish I had time to paint all these fantastic miniatures, but I don't, right? Especially because I mean, most of the time I'm creating tutorials for you guys. So, but it is what it is. Gotta love what you're doing, right? I do love what I do. It's fun. But it's really, again, it's all about you guys, and so it's really this sounds super corny, but I love you guys because you guys drive me to do what I do, right? It's all about love, circle of life, Simba. So yeah. Anywho, Jobs left nut. Wait, did he sign it? Say my name right, bitch. Did he say that? Oh, he didn't say that. had me looking again. I fell for it. I'm such an idiot. David Brunfeld, can you type it in chat or put it in the comments later? The name of the George of the Cthulhu. I would love to check him out, and as I'm a big fan of the Great God. Yeah, he's got a bunch of stuff like that. He's got even like wall plaques that look pretty darn big. Can somebody type his name up? If you go to my Instagram, just go to my Instagram, scroll through, and you'll find it. And you'll find links, because I have him tagged in those posts when I made posts of that sculpt. Just go to my Instagram and or even, I don't know if I did any Facebook posts on it. Did I do a video? Oh, I did a showcase on my YouTube. Yeah, you're on YouTube, right? Thank you, Twitchy. There, Twitchy Twitchy posted it on Twitch, though. But, yeah, that's the link to the guy's site. To George's site. And if you do buy anything, say Kris from Way the Brush sent me. But yeah, Ghost Starman Deluxe LML, add Yoda to the list of spoof tutorials Kris needs to do. Yeah, because we talk about the Swedish Chef. I do have ideas for a Bob Ross, but yeah, a Yoda. Painting we are. Load your brush, you do. Barfing sheep. 1 to mix this is. Or 1 to 2 mix this is. Several coats you will need. Take care of your brushes, you will. And take care of them, you do. Heretic Scott had to disappear for a bit. Did I miss my email? No. Your email will be, I think, next, actually. Dave62702. Please retype the George. Thanks in advance. Oh, thanks. The link to George in the chat. Can't you just scroll back? Good God. Twitchy, can you post it again, buddy? Thanks. In fact, you know what? I'll copy it now, and I'm going to post it in the YouTube comments, because I can't copy that. What the we're failing at interneting again, people. I'm too old for this crap. I was going to say shit, but I meant crap. David Runford. Oh, I thought it was... There we go. I just put it on YouTube. There it is. But yeah, it was on Twitch. Twitchy posted it. I guess I could have just done it for my program that lets me to post to both, but anyway, yeah, it's on my Instagram. It's there, and yeah. But George, I'm not even going to say his last name because it's Greek, and I just end up butchering his name. And I have too much respect for the man to do that to him. So I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a conversation with him. I know he's popped into the show once or twice. Just say hi, kind of thing. But yeah, I like his work and peruse all his stuff. Just give it a look. He's got lots of stuff. He's got original stuff. He's got lots of Cthulhu stuff. If you love Cthulhu, and who doesn't, check out his stuff. He's got good stuff. Stuff. I'm just going to keep saying stuff. Stuff. This one is from our good buddy Derek. Hello, Kris and Monkeys. Just wanted to say, show a few models I painted recently to prove to you I haven't been slacking. As always, any suggestions are appreciated. Fire Drake 18, aka Big Ragu. What? The Big Ragu. Hashtag Nurgle got back meat. What? What? Alrighty. So here is Fire Drake 18's models. This is Kingdom Death. Oh, yeah, I like that. Have you, Fire Drake, have you played with the contrast? Because I know, you've been kind of moving through the models and, getting them, ready for, filming and stuff. But have you looked at the contrast paints? They might be a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. I like this. It looks like you're doing kind of the pre-shade, where you're throwing the two tones on there. Contrast might be what you're looking for in that regards. I don't know if you played with any of the contrasts, but yeah. But very cool. I like the goat ram thing. I don't know what the hell that is. And the warrior. Was there any pictures of this warrior? I kind of breezed through this as I was talking about it, but no, we didn't get any really close-ups of the warrior. Why didn't we get close-ups of the warrior? I like this, though. I like you got the different colors going on. It looks kind of like lava inside the flesh or something. But, yeah, as I was saying, contrast paints might be what you're looking for as far as, kind of getting these guys done to a decent tabletop quickly. You might want to check out contrast paints. Or maybe not. I don't know. Of course, you can always check out Liquitex Flow Aid, and that'll give you... Heretic Scott, I know you asked earlier if I did your... Oh, I missed that. How did I go past that one? I went from Scott's to Coma's. Oops. Okay. Here we go. Here is Heretic Scott's email. I'm all over the place. Don't worry. I'm hungry, and it's frickin'... We're an hour and a half over thing here. This is from Heretic Scott. This is Howdy Kris. What is it? Anchor? The travel, Anchor to travel. Anyway, is complete. As I mentioned before, his cast wasn't great, but it was a good excuse to convert him a little. I've been playing around with tinting metallics to make it look more interesting and trying to improve my true metallics metal skills in general. TMMM. For anybody who's wondering, true metallic metal skills. In general, CNC, always appreciated. Cheers, Lewis, aka Heretic Scott. Lewis. I don't know why I crack myself up every time with that stupid movie, but anyway, yeah. I like the color. I like the coloring on the weapon. I know we talked previously about, you know, refining that. I like the crystals in the base. I like the coloring in his like you've got that gradient of color occurring in his kind of loincloth thing. I don't know what the hell that's called, but I like that. How you can see the metallic and then it goes to an opacity. I wish I hadn't killed that fish. Anyway, I kind of would like to see that more on the model. Kind of like how you have the shiny metallic color, and then you go to an opaque tone in the recesses. The shading is opaque, but it's actual metal as the highlight. You know what I mean? I like the weapon though. I like your color transition along the edge of the blade. I like the glowiness of the power inside the blade. I like the little wrap on the end of the staff too. That's cool. I like how you gave him an opacity for his face as well. It's a pure white instead of going with just a pure metal on him. I like that. I like that choice. I like that loincloth. I like the coloring you've got going on there. I like how there's this this deep red tone, and you have the greens as well on the armor. At least it looks like greens. But it's a very subtle tone. You're going to have to tell me what you did there, Lewis. Because it almost, like did you use, like, a red paint? Thin it down? Use it like a shade wash? Is that what you did? You just let it kind of glaze it in there slightly? Because it almost looks like typhus corrosion or something as far as, like, the other metal areas. There's that deep red in there. I likey. Me likey. I like that. I like it a lot. And for a character piece, I mean, yeah, it makes total sense to, you know, take your time and, you know, kind of do it properly kind of thing, right? But I really like that, Lewis. Yeah, I'm going to go back to the comments here. Did you answer me what you did there? Did you? Did you? Room Matinoff. I think on YouTube you can, as it's recorded with the video, so if you watch later you can see in the chat as it came up. Oh, okay. Go Starman. I believe it's pronounced Anrakir. Anrakir? Yeah, I'm not going to trouble myself with made-up words. Fire J. Dean. Those are all contrast with some shade. Oh, really? Oh, those are all contrast with some shade on those models, on the Kingdom Death stuff. Oh, okay. You must apply it very lightly then. Because it didn't seem like, well, the female character looked like it was pretty strong. But yeah, it looked really cool. And doing the pre-shade. Heretic Scott, same way I did the flayed ones, glazed in a flesh wash over the dark metallic. That's a flesh wash. That's why it's kind of a desaturated red tone. So that's like a Reichland flesh shade? Is that what I'm looking at? Or is that a contrast paint? No, it's... Or is it some other company's flesh tone? Either way, very cool. I like that. I like it. I like it. It's got just a hint of color to it, but it's a very kind of a desaturated tone. It creates some very interesting visual looks. Yeah, and as far as Fire Drake, those models, yeah. At first, it didn't look like contrast paint, but it is, right? Because like the goat, okay, I guess so. I was seeing the goat, and I thought maybe you laid a base tone and you dry brushed it, but that is just contrast. I get it. Sorry, I'm getting hungry, and we're an hour 35 over. I'm starting to get a little short. Thankfully, we got one last email to do. I'm all caught up on emails. Heretic Scott. I've been quite enjoying using various shades to tint metallics. Actually, I checked, and it's a red wash from Vallejo. My mistake. Okay, so it is a red wash. Right, but as it sits over the metallic, because of the silvery tone that comes through the red, it neutralizes that red and desaturates it, right? To the eye, to the red, it's still a saturated red. Like if you could change so you saw no gray or silver showing through, yeah, that red would probably look quite red still. Versus looking at it head on, the gray undertone comes through and desaturates the red. That's why it looks that way. Yeah. I get it. Cool. Yeah, no, Lewis, that looks awesome. I was actually thinking of this before the show, too. I'm going to get into one more little rant here before we get to the last email, but I was thinking of, because you know how San Fantello did the cupcake ring, kind of as a challenge, kind of like a homework assignment, right? And it was kind of like, I was thinking of, if anybody wanted to take the challenge on from this week to the next, paint a model without using any black to shade and without using any white to highlight. Okay? So you can still use an off-white, but it can't be a pure white. And you can still use like a dark brown or dark blue or something like that to shade, but you can't use a black, a pure black. You can't. So, okay? If anybody wants to challenge themselves when they're painting this week, try that. Don't use a pure white. Don't use a pure black. Okay? Create shadows, create highlights, but you can't use those. And then you start venturing off into some fun areas, like, for example, shading a red with a purple, or shading a red with a dark blue, or highlighting, green with yellow, or green with a very light red, right? You'll push color that way too, like a pink. Pick a very soft white pink, and mix that into the green, and use that as a highlight and build up to that. You know what I mean? You guys kind of following what I'm saying here? And that will, I think, broaden your horizons as far as the interplay of color on surfaces. And I think you'll find as you kind of get refine an idea like that, you'll find that you'll come back to more of a realistic way of highlighting and shading something. Because black isn't in a shadow. It's just the absence of color. And the highlight isn't white. It is just a brightening of the color. Right? So, just a fun one. Just something fun to consider. Okay, Oma, that is all the models I sent pics of. No pure white or pure black. Right, but say for gray armor, shade instead of, say, using a dark blue, use a dark brown, use a dark red, use a dark orange, use a dark green. That's what I'm saying. New Peyton at Kris did that on a 13th a month, or so ago. It's excellent training exercise. Sure, yeah, just give it a shot. Like if the armor is red, use a green to shadow. Use the complementary. If it's yellow, use a purple. If it's purple, use a yellow. Vice versa. Use complementaries. Yeah, just play within complementaries. Use complementaries to bring the color up or down. Job is left not that a whole set of tutorials there. Yeah. Ghost Starman Deluxe. Here's an idea. Paint a black mini without black paint. Yeah. You can. Yeah, you can. You can totally do it. New Paint Mini. Treant. A treant. A treant? Like from Lord of the Rings? Is that what we're talking about? A tree ent? Anyway, let's get to our last email, and this one is from our good buddy Legion. Hello, Kris and Monkeys. I took a while to recharge my hobby batteries, but I'm back at painting and converting stuff. This week, another one of my Pyre Guard models was finished. Number 6 of 7. There's a PNG. Best regards from Germany, Legion Miniatures. But I assume that's the same picture. Yeah, it's the same picture. Must be just the way the YouTubes broke it up for me, I guess. I don't know. Anywho, here is the Duder. Now, we've seen a few of these from Legion. I like the nice vibrant green you got going on. I like all the details. I like the weathering on the armor. I like the inclusion of the purple. I like them. They're just nice, just really nice paint jobs. Oh, look at that. We talked previously about something about the weathering, I believe, at one point, weren't we? Because you have this aged metallic with the next to the kind of solid green, and the green is kind of pristine, right? And I think we've talked previously about including like a weathering on the green, chipped armor or something, right? And I'm pretty sure we've talked about that in the past. I like him though. I like the vibe. And I mean, personally, I like miniatures that have a nice clean paint job on them, especially if they're just gaming pieces. Absolutely nothing wrong with going a nice clean paint job on them. I like Buddy on the right with the shield. That guy's cool. I mean, I don't know him personally. He could be a jerk, but he looks pretty darn cool to me. Thank you, Legion, for sending that in. That's some awesome stuff. That was the last email, wasn't it? Yes, that was the last email. Ha 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 ha. I'm all caught up. Was Heretic Scott? Whoa, man, they look awesome. Is that Hammer a conversion? No, I believe those are third-party manufacturers, right? Pretty sure Legion? I don't know if Legion's still around. Legion, Heretic Scott over on Twitch wants to know if that's a conversion. I'm pretty sure those are third-party. Somebody probably like Cromlech or Skybor. It's probably a Skybor. I want to say it's a Skybor, actually. I think I've seen those. I don't know. Maybe they're his. Maybe they're... Oh, yeah. Cromlech. Oh, they are Cromlech. Okay, so Legion said they're from Cromlech. There we go. I am so smart. I am so smart. SMRT. I mean, SMART. Fire Drake 18. Let's keep Kris another half hour and see if he passes out from hunger. I can hear his stomach rumbling. Can you hear my stomach rumbling? I didn't think you could. It rumbled a second ago, but yeah. Ghost of Star and Deluxe. Quick, somebody send another email. Nah, piss off. Fire Drake 18. Finally, Salamanders. 10 out of 10. Yeah. They're from Cromlech, right? And there's... I don't know if you did any converting, but I'm pretty sure it's kind of stock kit from them. Something like that. I don't know. I'm lost. If you need help with your color scheme, or you want to show off what you're working on, maybe a commission painting service and you just want to drum up some extra exposure, whatever it is, send your questions, emails to Kris@WaveTheBrush. If you have pictures attached, send them as attachments in the email. Don't send them off as links to other sites because I won't read them on the show because often there's ads and other BS on them, so please don't do it. And of course, yeah, and it's in the description below, as well as a link to waveofthebrush.com. Central hub of all this Cinemas has links to all the social medias, as well as Discord, Instagrams, all that. Has all that stuff. So join us at waveofthebrush.com. It also has links for t-shirts. Want to get yourself a t-shirt? Look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world? They're wearing a Way of the Brush t-shirt. And of course, if you've purchased yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt tastefully send a picture of yourself, and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also at wayofthebrush.com. And of course, wayofthebrush.com has links for Patreon support. I'm independent these days. If you want to help support the channel, help continue to grow, and help me to do what I do, which is educate and sometimes entertain, Patreon is how it's going to happen. And of course, I have varying tiers of support, so click whatever makes sense to you. And of course, a huge thank you, all of you who currently support me. Huge thank you. Huge thank you. And of course, if you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, clicking thumbs up, liking, following, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and all of that. And of course, when you see somebody on a forum or whatever, and you say, hey, anybody have any ideas on how to paint something, and you've seen me do something similar, or I answer a question that is being asked, send them my way. You're helping me out tremendously. And it doesn't, all it takes is a couple clicks of a button, and you're helping me out tremendously. Big thank you to Carl, aka Guymere Alfer, aka Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. We say that because Carl is no longer with us, but we always say thank you to Carl for taking the time when he was with us to make the email jingles that play before the email segment of the show. And so always much love to Carl. And of course, speaking of love, much love to my baby brother Evan for creating the intro outro music that plays before an end of the show. So always much love to my baby bro Evan. And of course, check him out, EB Comics. If you're into rare comics, EB Comics, I believe ebcomics.com. EB, like EB. I probably should have a link down below, EB Comics. I'll have to do that. You know what? I'll add it right now. Actually, no, I can't do it right now because it might not be. It might not be there. I don't know. But anywho, and of course, much love to him because he's talented, and yeah. Anywho, I think we're done. Any last thing? Punisher fan, did you go over the Ben I figure I emailed you? I did go over it, Punisher. Where have you been? Oh, you woke up late. Yeah, I did. It was early on. We talked about it. I showcased it, and I showed it, and we all agree that it takes some pretty big cojones to modify a $200 valued action figure to the level at which you are. And I'm looking forward to where else you go with it. And yeah. Oof. Yeah, we all agree. It takes some cojones, man. It takes some cojones. John was left that. Ozzy will start shaking in a minute if he doesn't get his lunch. Fuck off. Fuck off. It is true though. I'm I got nothing else. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you. And I will see you guys later. No matter what occurs, I will find you.